katabin say you, what you can say, Kwabena, Kaja Gumamianko. Bobie Ansah, Berma Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode, no Akanchra Katabin say you, what you can say, Kwabena, Kaja Gumamianko. Bobie Ansah, Berma Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode, no Akanchra Katabin say you, what you can say, Kwabena, Kaja Gumamianko. Bobie Ansah, Berma Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode, no Akanchra Katabin say you, what you can say, Kwabena, Kaja Gumamianko. Bobie Ansah, Berma Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode, no Akanchra Katabin say you, what you can say, Kwabena, Kaja Gumamianko. Bobie Ansah, Berma Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode, no Akanchra Katabin say you, what you can say, Kwabena, Kaja Gumamianko. Bobie Ansah, Berma Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode, no Akanchra Katabin say you, what you can say, Kwabena, Kaja Gumamianko. Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode. No Akanchra Katabin say you. What you can say? Kwabena, Keja Guma Marianko. Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode. No Akanchra Katabin say you. What you can say? Kwabena, Keja Guma Marianko. Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode. No Akanchra Katabin say you. What you can say? Kwabena, Keja Guma Marianko. Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode. No Akanchra Katabin say you. What you can say? Kwabena, Keja Guma Marianko. Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode. Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode. No Akanchra Katabin say you. What you can say? Kwabena, Keja Guma Marianko. Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode. No Akanchra Katabin say you. What you can say? Kwabena, Keja Guma Marianko. Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema Bemeti Garafru Kube Puntimpunasi Sokode. No Akanchra Katabin say you. What you can say? Kwabena, keja guma mni yanko. Bobie Ansah. Berema be meti gara furukube puntimpuna si sokode. No wakanchira katabin say you wati unkensen. Kwabena, keja guma mni yanko. Bobie Ansah. Berema be meti gara furukube puntimpuna si sokode. No wakanchira katabin say you Kwabena, keja guma mni yanko.
The male ward can also be found on this floor. On the third floor is a physiotherapy department, which includes. The fourth floor has its own VVIP and executive wards, with rooms that look like a 5-star hotel with correspondent care and services. This floor also houses the miscellaneous diagnostic area, which installs the following units: endoscopy, ultrasound, ECG and EEG. On this floor is the kitchen and staff canteen areas. The hospital training room can also be found on this floor. This is a multi-purpose conference facility which comes with an audiovisual room. 2 smaller meeting rooms can also be found on this floor, as well as a library and the main security control room for the hospital. The rooftop holds the hospital's technical outdoor units, such as the solar panels, air conditioning, LPG gas system, refuse chute system, water treatment plant, 2 smaller storerooms, and a bigger general storage area. Connecting to the main building, as mentioned previously, is the ancillary block, known as the administrative building, where there is a public eatery and parking bay for staff. The first floor of the ancillary building is home to the medical waste and sterile room, known as the ECODAS. There are 2 offices and a changing room found in this department. The holding bay has 2 cold rooms. This unit also has an office and waiting area. The laundry room can also be found on this floor. The second floor is home to the medical director's office and other administrative offices.
On the Citizen Show, stay with Bobie, Ansah all the politics you can know. On Accra FM 100.5, tune to the Citizen Show. Bobie, Ansah, yeah.
Friday afternoon. Thank God it's Friday. Yes, of course. Baby bia wotemenka ena wi bia no eya wiampo say ya wi say ya najo say eya no po untimi hu but mesre mo baby a wo bia no say ubetimi atwa eye floods sensu ayiri afa area no ubetimi atwa ne video e dia send ye roads said ye acquire nesi aye Mr. Obetimi etwa e dey ascend ye. Okay, so Kwame number ben na memfa mo memfa wo de no ana e beba so bebre o ubetimi Kwame. Ebeba so grrr. Ubedua download ni na. Kwame, wona mentwa wo na so ugina ho. Ose. Okay. All right. So, me patcho money number we 027 00 57 520. Merci abosu bio. 027 00 57 520. 027 005 7520. Baby bia obia baby ensuo ayiri afa obetimi a video dia sende ye akwai ahodo aya enya eye problem me pacho bomodia se obetimi so our location wa just take a video shot never send the number we are yade ato edwai me social media handler so be number no pacho bo number no go ho so that a man for bet me reach out to the number baby wa maybe say not mamoto we no traffic. So area bi so abmonya challenge baby wa obehso na ebia se de nso na to ache no electricity pole bi abu montini ya wa ha enti bomoden say obetimi send information me ba cho ena meya adwuma ache enti meto me rafon ntem CMG sika ache de no ena mabobɔ ne ntem eno mo trauma me bobɔ ya me pon ya me kɔ afi na manfo otwagum. And now a Friday, yadi kodi weekend, yanentem, aye yanentem. Adakwa si una ade number no, wabo to odi amaye jai complaints no na send the video no for man number no. *413# CMG ska achadie. Twa 5 cities nearly 1,000 Ghana, pum. Bra green ga esibuoso king ting saya ai nyano sia awaba me pacho mo motonton enuane no mo amoton ne ma ya na sosomo no ensu ototo enkose obia kiosmu samre ai me pamcho mo fanche me kwaso ampani bia kopa lobo 6 waje alomo 6 help 3 madingo 3 say 12 shots awi atagwe ani goro michi ana odini ti ate de kiosk num ana nkola ana a omoto ade no abaya baba baby se wate enso to ebe hwe ododo abaywa sister oma mamento ade ebi sister obejira kwa na oh brem rain side enso no amo rem oh sister also running pabua sa ampeso obi abehunu se gan no turn e man pabua no go also running pabua frem oh how the I feel that Ferremu no me say men ko jira obia dayechi everandamu pe ba bia nipa wo ana mo foforo ayeka lift basa no ne nsuo tɔ ɛna bra no ɛna ɔka sɛ memforo ne kaa no ne nsuo ne ma ne mmo enti sɛ akɔtrɔtrɔ station ɛna sɛ wohu sɛ taxi na wohu sɛ boys miɛnsa ɛna ti mu a memforo taxi no mansuo ne mmo mesrɛ wo a ne titiriw ne nkwadaa no a ɔmotɔ nsuo nkateɛ wurawurafoɔ no tɔgbi badasu ɛnɛ your birthday kakewa no tum still no ababa sɛ same wurawurafoɔ no kateɛ wura aburo wura ayi diandeɛ na sosoɔ mo no ɛna saa ayi zongofoɔ nkwala no a ɔmokɔtɔ adeɛ na ntoma nkoa na esi wɔ mo asene no ka kɔfie kɔ sepito kɔfie ka kɔfie ka West Takrade West Fijai my peace.
Enzi wanyo komri wentiem kakra men kasa pi. Da bara makade. Bakan ko kakra mi yema kan ko fancy. At long last the battle has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. And yet again, I want to take the opportunity to thank the chiefs and people of this country, the youth, the farmers, the women who have so nobly fought and won this battle. Also, I want to thank the valiant ex-servicemen who have so cooperated with me in this mighty task of freeing our country from foreign rule and imperialism. And as I pointed out at our present conference at Sorbonne, I made it quite clear that from now on today, we must change our attitudes, our minds. We must realize that from now on, we are no more a colonial, but a free and independent people. But also, as I pointed out, that also entails hard work. I am depending upon the millions of the country, the chiefs and people, to help me to reshape the destiny of this country. We are prepared to build it up and make it a nation that will be respected by every other nation in the world. We know we are going to have difficult beginnings, but again, I'm relying upon your support. I'm relying upon your hard work. Seeing you in these thousands, it doesn't matter how far my eye goes. I can see that you are here in your millions. And my last warning to you is that you also stand firm behind us so that we can prove to the world that when the African is given a chance, he can show to the world that he's somebody. To sleep anymore. Today, from now on, there is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. We are going to demonstrate to the world, to the other nations, young as we are, that we are prepared to lay our own foundation. As I said in the assembly just minutes ago, I made it point that we are going to say that we create our own African personality and identity. It's the only way in which we can show the world that we are ready for our own battle. That today, may I call upon you all that at this great day, let us all remember that nothing in the world can be done unless it has the purpose and support of God. We have done the battle, and we again rededicate ourselves not only in the struggle to emancipate other territories in Africa. Our independence is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the African continent. Let us now, fellow Ghanaians, let us now ask for God's blessing. And for only 2 seconds, in your thousands and millions, I want to ask you to pause only for 1 minute and give thanks to Almighty God for having led us through obstacles, difficulties, imprisonments, hardship and suffering to have brought us to the end of our trouble today. 1 minute silence. Ghana is free forever.
Yes, of course, you can for your momunina ammo and yo and a fiada Yamama Kwaba. Let's do this.
Heroes of change.
Madam Munina say, I mean, Sra a dom. And then Pimp Mama Tianka. Thank you. Thank you. Abba! Saya! What no? What say ye?
What you realize in us, all kind of bra. Yes, so when you. It's a Muslim in India. That's all. One more time.
Say! What do you have a That's it. Friday be there. And never again. And none of you. Sorry, big jim, papa. Yeah, mame, boss idea way. A Jumaco be Mr. Momodo. Me yadom pa or just auto parts. Me the dedication way, mamo. Or just auto parts. Oh, I was so kind. Yeah, I'm on this year. Me and me papa dear. Mama big ups. So for I from Kwan a year auto, just auto parts. I from Kwan. Last year I for. When I don't only a chantess. I don't stay in Nungwa. Lottie Jones. And Ansah. Tomaso for it. Anane. Thank you so much. The Pamacho or Jazz. I'm in Caswatch Yamo. Mimiano no. Wow, for Memma. Check it. Saya! I want to make a conscience. Sir! Yeah, And then Fanti Bayegre. Yes, don't mind me. Kentata is here. Avovum. And now your minia Togbi Badasu. The birthday. Unfortunately, me need a picture.
And you might be too young. Madam for Ibo Nibi. And
I tell you,
I'm with you. I'm watching you know I will Ibo Casim. I am with them once and once you are the money. Okay, now, listen up.
Saya!
Oh, the banana.
Baba, I don't have money.
Yeah.
But you make me happy.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Ansah, we can't care ourselves. Friday afternoon. Sometimes someone yes slow flake a crack. My main car was some woman motorway no so no so woko ye ufrin kan ko tema to Accra so container bia ko mini atoso so. All right, so this gentleman order your Facebook page, your friend who took me Badasu, and he has been one of my loyal fans on Facebook. Wa follow Showway Ache, and I think it's just fair that when people waste their energy, their time and everything to support you, you show same support. And then birthday, Togbi Badasu to you. More Facebook page, I'm willing to be Badasu. This is Togbi Badasu. And then birthday, Pacho, Mama, shout out to mommy. Thank you. And now, sorry, them baby, papa. Seja. Papa Randy Ewo Mimos. Anu here. Yarima. Bafo. Koso here. Ewa num. Sa.
Amadi shie. Me am papa die.
Onya list dako.
Ana pa me am bedu.
Sapori.
Evangelist.
Sapori.
Okansempa.
Sapori.
Yense wajai no tuo.
Remember that some of the production crew. And that's quite a fit what they call him. And that's what we are. And the pande. Flip up salad.
And so Yabahadia.
Akradai. I'm suffering.
Second penny.
We are take.
Okoto sir.
Eugene Bay is here. Penya FM Elmina.
I want to make it because yes way.
That on the FM. Our Tamale. Mediana na Kwabena Bobie Ansah.
I want to make it because
the old soldier. The old lion. The last man standing. Commander Boham. Check it. Hey! That's me don't sugar show. Aya. Eso me da sugar show. And I'm for Freya Bibi cost for Bank of Ghana. I don't know exactly what it is. Initially, no. Obi Freya a Bank of Ghana. No. But you see, I say, and this because say 21 days on my check of Bank of Ghana. Yeah, insecurity, our friend stimulation be something. And if the fire service care just in case of any Ayibia, the military training as to how to protect the place and all that. And just leave them. Obianko. All right, thank you. That's it. And I know. Yeah. Welcome home, share we will be into mechanics and I want the minute and then find Kusia. My men carry a mercu and then my men carry mercu besia and you may. Yameya Duma Nonson Empire Americo Besia. Boys Fellowship for so Ebesia. Yameya Duma Ochna Aya Guild for Edda and you may each year Naya practice. Elders were announcement. Yameya Duma, yes, you may Asafo Penning for and so Ebesia. Kwasiada, Yakwaya, Aye, dear. Kwasiada. And I dream all night and you home free, Miss Remo. And I dream all night. Mamma, you home free. Ye Jinamusa and I dream. Yami adma shebe non son per moody. Na various groups never your meetings. Na ye shiem ewa soda kessim. Na ye dear Jinem. Ye bompire, I say, obonsam numa. Or say for ye singing an adria. Shebe emon or nine. Na yapon. Farmers, Akuafo a modi ayeye de ebeba eyem waja efie anadwi elder say obetwen na wagini nyina enti yesremo ye no so monhye ne so enti enna so no yesoronko kra enna ho sra no yesoronko enne de agro ni baabia ye besremo mo se eye candle enkola no a mo maame no de mo abare ye ya Mosi incense ema asofo no ene mo be ya adwuma nti yesre mo eya mo ba na mo de mo incense na aba mesre mo ena no ombe ye complain say eye incense ayo anu ayehye no ba akwa yira mesre mo nkoda no ya mo nhwe yi candle fo no mon famra ene ye beso jatene anadwi ede yakohia ye wurade wonka say amen. Okay, now straight to business. On say me catch them say baby a wo bia no try say wo say ebia wo flooding place bi ana bibia so important mo the way so ni see no we need to watch each other. But my mention says here obia send a video from Lomnava second cave area ewo anya so tuom. So let's go there. Na yankosha de ekoso ewo ensuo toyi yankosha de ekoso ewo lom. Bomba flat. Bomba flat. Bomba flat. Bomba class. Adiós class. Bomba class. Bomba class. Adiós class. Bomba class. Bomba class. Mesremo. Moi various houses no so no. Monka nkola no nse dem mayen. Monka nkola no ense edem emayen. Ai flats ama Ghana ni adani Jamaica ni was say bomba class. No God is also Rastafari. Oh, bomba clat. Oh, Rastafari. All right, so that's it. Now, Yanko a yes seshi Asafu, Western North region, almost send messages. Maybe your current position, Adia Air Kosono, just send. And you be Nebeka. Motorway, the and you be Nebeka. Anoshi, papa, motorway in the end there. Anoshi. All right, so thank you. Your house 0270057520. Whatever is happening, or just prompt us. Julie Western roads are very bad. They always vote for this government. The minister will come and tell you Plan B. Very sad. Okay. Confia Brante ewa say Olisale so your Facebook page. Thank you, Olisale. But mame no munim komo we be the next 10-15 minutes. Talk to me. say almost Jenny and ya quatry, right? Jenny, tomatoes. Say what Adriane bought to say. Adriane say omo increase fuel, right? Petrol and diesel. Omo increase no. Adriane bought to say says yeah. May the 10 minutes new baby dim come about your life. Tell me. Cost of living. How are you surviving? Any your name come. Young Kasasa Ghana for 03022088090. But the 10 minutes. Any Ghana for dim come. And I have Friday. Ain't ye beam? Friday. Hello? Hello? Yes, sir. Call us, Yanko.
Minia, share Bobie. Yeah, kind of prayer. And you're really in next. The one grant tested Bobie to Yamu to be no cocoa.
Grant 10 cedi, won't mean no cocoa.
And yes, so we are the shepherd. And that did cast it. And you really a son. 10 cedi. What me no cocoa. Because you will talk of war, and you can giant of Okuna who will let you go 20 cities and in China because you see a document and you 10 cities in China at Boswa.
Document, you say. Mako. Would be a young Muka, and your reality, and your fun, and yet it's simple. And what I see from the high school, the Bibia would be a little of him. The dear may want and you can know. And you put what I'm the fun every then tell them one of whom this is 45. Now, yeah, can't somebody, I will be no fear about great racial. Yeah, Lucia, oh, and I've read that one. Yes, can go clear who that can you. Then they want to put that in or one who you can. Oh, yes, someone, and you are okay, every year to petrol. Ya to di zemu to kan wo ya no bi o le pass no by say then na be check then you book the yes so why I put back to tell you position I said that o got the so e wo gu yes so in the day you I would chile is that making days one so much I see. All right, me da say minua otka mu de but hello.
Good afternoon, Bobie.
Good afternoon, sir.
Mr. Lincoln here, Mijina Kaswa.
Kaswa, yenin komo.
Yo, Bobie. Kaswa is one of the places who call new market aduani eyefu. But oh, Bobie, Keta school boys.
Who call new market no aduani eyefu.
One of the places aduani eye cheap. Because almost free, but just any other places at the Baho.
That is perfect.
Only Mr. Bobie, Keta school boys, Olo Gano, a coffee stay Ghana. Nensu, Olo Kana, Omudi Mejano, and you Olo Ka, your name Dadao.
There be, and if I now almost 250 cities now.
Market, I'm talking about. New Kaswa new market.
But you are telling us Adriane Boafo, so why are you complaining?
It's one of the places Adriane cheap, but Siciano. Gary.
Okay, so what you want to say is say first Nanka a baby Adriane Bo Eyefo. But say ni entisa.
Me see tomatoes. For some time now, tomatoes boy thing, especially Gary. Gary, to me to the bed, you mamudino. Gary or look Sassiano, cost 25 to 30 Ghana. Chinam, especially with the 1,000.
Yeah.
First, you're teaching 1 city.
1 city, yeah.
Say, I will Yanos house, 3 city, 4 city.
I want to treat 2 cities view.
No. obedi anya enti minia also koto adia minia you come home with empty basket.
Se oba chese sa ayin ketenkete na omnom chichire ni 2 cities one omon chichire ni bio.
No. Ebia obi na di china ebia watching sa na obi anto bi na opeso chichire no sa I don't know. But sa niama no ye niama who needs kaka you should be able to buy. Uko marketa and rice. Local rice, 2 Jimmy, a friend 2 Jimmy. One margarine is about 6 to 7 cities. Local rice. Bobie, like there is no sign of things getting better. Because at the end of the day, we try and say, oh, this week and not this year, the Niaman, but now you lie. It's rather escalating. And immediate Gary no pona Gary.
All right. Okay. That's my main for another caller on the line. Quick one. Hello.
Hello, Bobie. Good afternoon.
Pacho, what video name from why?
Pacho, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Pacho,
what video name from why?
Pacho, you. Pacho, me did Joe Ashama number 2.
Hello, Joe. What video name from why?
I be Pacho here.
Mommy feedback, Pacho.
Okay. Pacho here.
Oh, Pacho, yeah.
Me chani with you.
Yeah, Joso.
Now, Bobie, and then they mean Katabibre. Ansah is a Becca, the cost of living, a work room. A idea as if in Bibre. Ugi uncrown tia siamibra. Yamamoe, Ankasa. And you thought the people na meet Sabi yet program or radio so near Sabi Tibok for the better radio so air defending an Antony government we are. Now you tell Sham walk one fukra, the one for bomb trimu. Because me who Omankasana Muna home for Omubre. And so Ansah is and I see Beji 100 Ghana and fashion Butuma and Naji is and then in 1 ton, Benani Refiso or Trambeba. Bobie, yet ever for Ankasa, you Ashama Ebre. And yes, Ashama Kumbegana Hanankasano. They said the Siasana Yamasi Kono. Week we assure someone to Petro Mube said 2 times.
Yeah.
But not be Briadwin and Koso.
Oh, behind him, but again, you have nothing to do.
And Tibobo Yama Moedi, and ye easy, my why, and ye easy. And ye easy, why me that say. Obia send him a message, be or say. Okay, so Bishop Brain, Chow. Felix Yabua, or him says, Commander, I tell you, the Ghana maritime space is gone. Meaning the shipping, clearing, and forwarding business is dead. Find time and visit Tema Port. All right, this one is coming from Felix Yabua, or him in. All right, thank you, Feli. Then we have Andrew Amino. Commander, please. The 1,000 fish is 10 Ghana cedis. It was painted coastal. Brown Ebrabehe. Hello?
No, Madama.
Majiso, Mira.
Machabeno Yarfa.
Yo, Pacho Yanko.
That's it. No, but winning Adesu.
Adesu.
Adesu is a man casting in some.
Yeah, minimum.
No, Madam, Adesu, a one of me feet, a one year you got, a 1 year dia. Na media betana nkra na adesi nye biaya aduane a yedi kwenenum ne bu ayedin da e wa adesi je na na do tawe na me bi say ayedin ne ko su go wiase dis e men na nyame ka say bi bibin o memu be yedin just be yedin ani ni ana na ye bo udin hye nkoma bie itum regbe bie ye bo din so she ban so a bie na say
no but you see
geri lolonka adesu de lolonka 20 Ghana mentiaz
oh obi baka say ebia ebia o ya ndis dintia na wo kasa oh
menye ndis dintia me kasa ba komna me we na me fi asa na me dia beton ya be ko bia Ebiani bunya di one day to them papa wo me to adres abontenso. And now me no ka say Jerry Iwo adres krom in 20 Ghana.
Aya olonka ketwana na muru no.
Enya olonka na ne yede sentiti olonka na ye kan wasem no. No kwabo ta tam no ka ye san yensa ye kwa yensa ne to olonka no a. Ne be fa yensa ho asne guade na wo sha egro na gum ane gari na gum no enya de ketewa. And then you send a call, you see one near Chebu level near Shamo, 20 Ghana, a blue lonka, 20 Ghana, what is it? And come and show you what there's at the pa.
All right.
20 Ghana, what there's at then you move Yanza.
Yeah, some more. All right, okay. So, yeah, some. Now, Osei think right, Derek says, Bob, I don't know exactly what to say again. If there is anything that I want to say, I've never ever seen this in my entire life since I was born. I came from Europe to spend some holidays with my family, more than 6 months in Ghana, and I don't know how Ghanaians manage to live here. It is unbearable. This government has betrayed Ghanaians. They have mismanaged this economy miserably. Nobody will ever think to come and live in this country. All of them want to run away. What is happening? What is actually happening to our dear Ghana? All right, so Theodore says, Commander, well, Ghana is hard under this super incompetent government. At first, I used to buy light 100 Ghana cedis. Right now, unless I buy 270 Ghana cedis for a month. Hello?
Hello, Bobie.
Yes, madam.
Yes, be a citizen, not a spectator. Bobie, me see, me a common killer. Bobie, where did you see a real? Near menu, Bobie, near menu. The electricity 400. Yes, 7 400. Bobie, because the NHS no one my group.
We are sure.
But then you go be Sunday, me be kwa na me ministry. Woman mame. Omo see e bi ni ho, me nkoto. Me hu se dro no hye. E hye wo mu shelf no mu. Since me kita NHS no. Woman mame. Koko clinic. Woman mame.
I see.
Bobie. And I go for the Bible say, or by a say, or become no, I say, no, we are. I think, would me do docuna meet the crab will be a 10 to the sense to me. Look at that, mammy, and so me. Chetica will be that need them. So say that, yes, you cannot them a common prayer. Nana, they cannot demo a common. A common prayer. It's throw many. Nana, a common prayer. Many nana, the throw, the connection them. A common prayer.
Maybe I tried to make them home. Yeah, Offer be a Syriana. That's something they can ye. Yes, if you have any, Papa go crying at you. Okay, a confia branches, Bobie. Let me do this. Bobie, we are dying in this country. Gradually, we will start chasing our leaders, and this leadership is not an exception. We don't have a hung parliament. We can't have a hung parliament for no reason. They sit there like stooge and allow every bill to pass through. They are in bed with the government. They shouldn't dare our patience. So, Bobie. Na NDC or they cooperate so there or taxes were NDC for. Charles Cardinal says cost of living is terribly too high and unbearable. I went for Kenke this afternoon and I can tell you one Kenke which is used to be 2 Ghana cedis and now 5 Ghana cedis, and I had to take 2. 1 Ghana cedis fish is now 5 cedis. It's terrible. All right. Hello.
Yeah, Bobie.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I want to say.
Talk to me.
Last 2 weeks, I acquired Echo John Doman Mama Fee. First of all, my member meeting chair, Michael Amu, from Lejekuku, the branch organizer. And na me TV because me nyam penifo baku for and I make actual say President Miss by over father for her. And at this time, Mama was soon yamiache. She said, I pese on so onye Ghana bonsam and my so moon nim nan krofo we omudi omuchi omu awon. Masa omu nya bebi omudi omuti betu. Ya nkasa ye penifo ni omu, ye ni omu besi eni pa.
We are talking about cost of living, please.
Mi baso, Bobby mi baso. Se si ase ne no maboa di no, se John Drummond mama ba beji ye wo Ghana ha. Unia next year by next year end ye beto ye ma na ye di ato aduane edi. Kruma ishi. Ni penifo ami no omu ye adwuma, omu ye MPP fo. Se si a bees kra omu ntubinto. Omu di bees anopa ewia anwumre omu kosonso na omu sun. Ewia we ami no omu koto aduane ameka che omu se eye. Jo mama e bonsam na breso ni bo odi sense se ati so ama ye nche omu manage ni sa Bobby mi kwa mo biaba ye mpanifo mu ni bre na ye nji power e ma dondo ma ni mama munko so ye adwuma.
All right, me that's Michael Amo. My man can another caller on the line. Quick one, hello.
Mr. Bobie.
Yes, darling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam.
Mr. Bobie, only me.
Talk to me.
Omuya munse mumay hunchre. Ne ko ye lesbian ni gay. Ye nye na ya china anyi sada nka Yesu so mba na nyina ye nko. Ye humbe tre pa ba ye nye gay. Nye lesbian. That's it.
Yeah, some more. Hello? Oh, I'm losing. Hello? Hello? Yes, sir.
Asami Chiao.
Majeso.
Mamuni Ejuma.
Ejuma. Tell me.
Ediane boy edu ku emu no. If you penny for no. Ade na obedi di amen na nkwala ndi obeka se o mi de medidi amen ti. Omudo ma me kwa anya hwe. Me ko easily gone. Koto beans. Oh, American house. Bobie mi ko jina won sa temedu me so mi bi say o si me tan me se o ma bi so o si beans ni kokoro nya no o mu ti 25 cedis. Bobie ti na mi kan no.
Mpacho me ti o.
25 cedis. Enti aden na wo panyi mu be didi amen. Ye nye didi me a asem ni wo. Obi didi me a asem ni.
So obi didi me a obi akoda ne baby.
Obi akoda ne baby. Me o man panyi Akufo-Addo o ye papa me pe. Ma ha papa me pe. But wo ku bo di me di o man na ye mre. Na wo ni obusofo didi me. Na so do pass mu dwe. Wako obi akoye akoto aban bu so ko na o makoko. Wo asede no wo ye ne sen. Ekuwa shogo obi ni papa di so ne ba so ta be di so eti se bi anyansafo na mo se mu num nyansa na Tinubu wo ku bana ko se Tinubu a mo se ko ye ko ye ko ku no wo ku bana de man nwina ho na ye ko de no na ye fa ko mo ntira mo mu saa na man ko ka me kan ye e mo ko mo san di ye ngu so yes romo o mo do mo didi na mo me no mo fu ase binti a o mo nya ye ye no mo ye mframa na me no he yeso no he yeso but on kai hu se ska na o di ni de
Martin, me down say my man Faber last two callers been I mean hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Pacho, me dindi Agaza 1, me kasafi Trazako.
Okay, Agaza 1, yanko.
Oh, me need you program no pa me
thank you.
Accra FM but me into program say that. Nana Romeo ni Diakano.
Yeah, Nana Romeo.
Wale Nana Romeo wale. Anu na me tipa.
Good.
Me da say ma min fa kunya we so na me chia Honorable Mahmoud ya Ajage assembly member Otano electoral area Ajiringano East Legon Mpetemo mu ho ono ana sa bako bema na my way ma yeti no ye mpanifo no omu gidi en free ye ho omu pedi en free ye ho si se a upia wo hu stretcher a wo kurum no ni kura mi pie ye tie me a street guy who say na street is so hot especially okada fo no ye bredodo police forces to me higher over 2 key Tintina fa we bra Ansah. O provide we nyina obenya asem bi aka. Bema ye bre okrumu ampe fonu omu hu ade a omu di beye ombe ya nyina ye hu beto ye. Wo di die mi o. Ye meye. Nti ye sere mu ye bewu ye sere mu omu yi sa tax no sisi a omu se utwa beta udi a ombetwa o tax udi luto ombetwa o tax sisi a aka 90 ani eda ye bedape like omu di tax betu yesuru nyina na asa bema ya minshira mo midindi agazawan mekasa vita
Mati Agazawan, thank you. Let's see that Dago Divine says, please, the cost of living is never easy, but when the month reach and you are paid within 5 days, the money is finished. This country, when the ordinary Ghanaian is living in deprivation, destitution because the system is broke. Bishop Brain. Okay, I don't know why Dennis is here. Will you please? Okay, so let me move on. Hello.
Hello, my brother. Good evening.
Mommy. Good evening.
Yes, me Joanna Opokuni.
Joanna, hey, Auntie Joanna. Young Quay.
You, Yamisha, I need you my power. Me far konya we so. Abo ni timu na batwa.
Yeah, that's
me man na nama. We are there, papa.
Oh, that's it.
Mu mama kuma tom yen sometimes ni bu fukura na makuma tom me timu voice ka kekura na ma me. Me see me. Since the year me bega me back ra, me di dokun 1 cedi daw. Last year me decided this mami. This year me di dokun 12 cedis.
Oh, Debbie. Auntie Joanna. Dokun 12 cedis.
Me see
Debbie.
No, who there? Me number ni ne fa no ba no testing me do fia me frame me nua kitikiti bi na on testing ma na hu se me buana me see me di dokun bako 12 cedis 4 cedis ni insta me no pia wata me nugusu na fi na ya yeti se ma mi kakra e na fa na man kan wo because me ni na msika Bobie
Dabi na wo di dokun 3 do ene di 2 na fa bako eto chinamai
Dabi me 3 no amadi ama me pia wata me nu na push ni kakra me santon nam kan because me ba market man ton enti management na mi penini mi kwa mi ye kakra bi nu nkwada no kan wo dokun 12 cedis ma mi ton chi na ma se mi tikura se bibia kom yem enti ma managing sa na jo no enye de bia na ye di bronya enti that na nu de mi fan se mi pese mi men dokun 12 cedis mi dada won mi mawa bakwa sembi won wi asi Yesu Kristo o katre Israel for mra nyina no o manji ba ku kwantum first o mu didi mu ba ku pa yo si onu betumi edum onu obetumi akese no o kese enu so wanya Israel for but hu kwa o fa so dada o anya o madwin edi manya kokọ bu Israel ni mu ja o matanfo mo mu di o mu sinkunim onu bi na etu Ghana no me ma version bi o Mass TV then catch on say omo ma ofin bi aye friend no brothers wa deep copy no then for 1 week then send me na ubenhu amamu a yebu Ghana no
Martin Mesme da say live in Accra 100.5 Citizen Show. All right, so that's it. Mama enjane nkoya adwuma bi sesia. Look, we are talking about aduane yenim dia kwaso woni je say yes jene asamo yaba yenim bia ekofa tomatoes free all say tomatoes ni eniama ekọ Burkina and now there are certain things drivers intimi nko Burkina nko farm and the obia catch them say the likelihood say food shortage ebeba Ghana no very high street no mo show e kom wo krom agufado e kom den krofo Gabi e kom den krofo say mo national security a omo etie nkomo wo street mu a ofakanda pa mo ahwe ya boys ne ba hagni wo street mu and as say boys no nyina be hunu say ordinary citizen no enye ne fault wa eyemwa munhwe bibiye mamene nana me ya manu vice president Peasant Farmers Association Ghana eni nkomo nana akwaba boko de nana de yame ase nana ye di nkomo de di kai no amanfo raise concerns about food shortage ujiri se bibisa betimi asi I am say baby nana nenam no enye because me say as o movie but I come the nkrofo street no mu nya ahomeka kra street no mu nya ahomeka say Ghana ni you see and I hear people talking about say Ghana for no omonka fuwa afa de nya fuwa issue say fuwa issue no kra de ordinary Ghanaian no onwene hu bio food aduane obedi food say no ya ha no also jo mama time no kra de na akrofo nya aduane dinti no na ye complaints no wosoro say the issue is not about fuel, the issue is not about gas now aduane bi wa no de akosi ga ejaso the issue is about food say aduane the issue is about shelter baby a oni padinity beto but a come den crofo yem e okroma I'm telling you a come den crofo say tilapia ne catfish no krampo de yankwa ho tilapia ne catfish no it will be 250 Ghana. The other Ghanaian on Nam Street mu e come down. Say Christian Council fonte ya me ka kire wo mo. Say a National House of Chiefs fonte ya ye ka kire wo mo. E come den krofo. E come aden krofo ankasa. About Impulse Commander, cost of living is killing us. I have 2 kids and my wife, including your last one, staying with me. Commander, it's not easy as a man talking to you. My wife is pregnant and no money for hospital. Martin Smart says, my 2 daughters before they leave for school without TNT. Not just only 55 Ghana cedis. That is for breakfast and feeding fee. In fact, I are tough. Yeah. I tough. All right, so we have Ghana Agricultural Workers Union, Edward Karewe, and he is the General Secretary. We are talking about food. Uncle Edward.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us on Accra FM.
Good afternoon, sir.
This is Citizen Show.
I am honored.
We are talking about food shortage. I've heard some few people on radio stations claiming there is going to be food shortage. Then we need to contact your office, whether your office have same information. What is happening?
Well, let me say good afternoon again, and good afternoon to those who are listening to us. I'm extremely honored that you have invited me to share my views on this important topic on your esteemed program.
You are welcome, sir.
So I'm very honored. You see, the situation about the food is a practical one, in the sense that you can't say otherwise than to say it as it is. Food is a product of production. And food is said that if you do not invest in it, you cannot have it as manna coming from heaven or anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It must be produced. And if you look at what we have put in place as a country in terms of food production, then it is not far from true that this year the food situation will be terrible. It will be worse than before. This is so because as of now, when we are already in the harvesting season for the southern sector, that is the main harvesting season of this country, which is in the southern sector, food prices, instead of it coming down, is continuing to go up. And this can be referred to in the Ghana statistician, government statistician, Professor Nim report, where he indicated that food inflation in Ghana is still the major contributory factor to the national inflation. And he wonders why, in the midst of harvesting of food prices will still continue to go up. This defies the logic. This defies the norm. This defies what we know, that during harvesting period, prices of foodstuffs come down. Unfortunately, this year, when we are even harvesting, price of food still goes up. So in looking at this very difficult situation, he also advised that government must investigate, the reasons for this particular anomaly. So what I'm trying to say is that the signs for food shortage at the end of the year are already here with us.
But Edward, let me ask you this question before you proceed. Why are we not able to produce? What are the reasons?
Well, again, let me put it that production is a deliberate decision and action. We have invested less in agriculture, particularly this year. Yeah. And let me, in agricultural production. One, this year, 2023, there has not been subsidy at all in the inputs, particularly fertilizer. And fertilizer is a major, input for food production in this country. So, and unfortunately, while government has taken out a subsidy on the major
since when did the government take off the subsidy?
It is this year that they have withdrawn it completely. But let me give statistics to show how consistently government withdrew the subsidy. In 2017, when government implemented the Planting for Food and Jobs program, it subsidized fertilizer up to the tune of 50%.
Okay.
So if a bag of fertilizer, for instance, was 100 cedis, then the farmer will only pay 50 cedis. The other 50 cedis was subsidized by government.
Okay.
So we believe that that was it. And government never came out publicly again to tell us that they were reducing the subsidy. But we, those on the ground, and then farmers, we realize that the market price of fertilizer as against the price that people were paying for the subsidized fertilizer. suggested that they were paying more than 50%.
Okay.
So it means government's own of 50% was reducing. And as of 2021, the government subsidy on fertilizer was 36%.
36%.
36%.
Which means the farmer has the obligation to pay for 70+%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that would be 60.
64 or so. All right.
64%.
Okay.
Instead of the 50%.
Okay.
Then in 2022, government reduced the subsidy from 36% to 15%. More than 100% reduction.
What was the basis?
You see, there was no basis at all. Because, again, it defies the logic. Why did government introduce the subsidy? Or, in any case, why do we introduce subsidy? Subsidy is a development tool. It's a development strategy. So, you subsidize when the farmer cannot afford the market price of the input. So, the fertilizer that government wanted farmers to put on their farms per plot, the total of it, farmers could not afford it. So government subsidized. But as of 2021, when prices of fertilizer had gone up by up to 100% and 200%, government was rather reducing the subsidy.
And what was the government's explanation? Because this kind of decision makings obviously comes with explanations. So what was the government's explanation on this issue?
One could only read into the explanation, but there was no government public explanation as to why they were reducing the subsidy. In fact, the government didn't even come out completely to just say that I am reducing the subsidy. But it is when you do the workings, you see that the subsidy was reduced. And we thought at that time that, look, you see, when government asked farmers that you were subsidizing 50%, if the same government wants to reduce the subsidy, it is only proper, you see, to tell the farmers that I was reducing the subsidy. Why do you need to tell the farmers? So that they can prepare themselves to meet the additional cost.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, when at the time that they need the inputs, they see that you have reduced your subsidy and the price has gone so high, then they will not have factored that into their budget cost. Therefore, at the nick of the application of the fertilizer, they will not be able to apply the necessary quantity of fertilizer on the plot. And if you apply less fertilizer, what it will mean is that output will not be the same. Exactly. The yield per acre will fall.
Mm-hmm.
And if the yield per acre falls, then total output will fall.
Exactly.
So when that happened, we were predicting that total output will fall at the end of the year. But unfortunately, government insisted at the time that no, we were rather going to have a bumper harvest. So after 2021, when there was no fertilizer, and there was also another one, even the subsidized fertilizer did not get to the farmers.
Why?
Because
how? What happened?
It was smuggled out. And look, and these things, go and look at graphic, front page graphic, 15th July. 15th July 2021. And then 16th July. You will see that there was no fertilizer in 2021 when farmers needed it. And we tried to find out why there was no fertilizer. And the minister then came out to explain that there was shortage of fertilizer because the government was owing the fertilizer suppliers. And because they owe them for the previous supplies, year's supplies, they refused to now supply again. And he went further to explain that some of these fertilizer suppliers had gone to the bank to pick loans to import fertilizer, and then the banks were on them to pay back their loans.
So when we pick the issue about fertilizer, we have about 3 nagging issues hitting the ordinary farmer. That is the subsidy withdrawal by the government, then the issue of smuggling it outside Ghana.
Yes.
Then we have the government owing the suppliers of the fertilizer.
Yes, and the fourth one is that the price itself is more than doubled. It's more than doubled. I mean, the fertilizer price, it has gone up 3 times.
So currently, is the situation the same as it was then?
No, the situation today is worse. Why? It's worse.
Tell me.
That
yeah.
The price of fertilizer is more than triple.
How much is a bag of fertilizer now?
A fertilizer is selling around 400 and above.
I see.
You know, and there's one other thing that really did not people did not know. The subsidized fertilizer, some of it was of low quality. It was of low quality. So if you apply the subsidized fertilizer...
No, but we have our standard as a country. Sorry,
yes.
sir.
You know, I cannot disagree with you that we have got our standards.
Yes, so I'm wondering how we
you know, that is also some of the things that they do to shortchange government and shortchange the people of this country. So some of the subsidized fertilizer was of low quality. So you apply it and your yield will be low because the needed effect, the necessary effect will not take place. You see? Now, so all these things bedevil our agricultural production system. Now, look, why I'm concerned more about it is that we do not produce fertilizer in this country. So we use foreign exchange to import the fertilizer, bring it in, and allow it to be smuggled out.
Let me have clarity on this one. So, as we speak, we don't have a fertilizer manufacturing company in Ghana here.
No, we don't have.
Do we have one in our neighboring countries?
Well, I don't know that, but what is clear is that what you get in Ghana, one, you import the entire formulation. You know, for instance, when they say 15-15-15,
yeah,
that is the NPK, or 15-15-20.
Yeah.
They are telling you about the chemical components in the fertilizer.
Yeah.
Now, you can import the chemical components, come and mix them here and bag them. Or you import the entire formulation outside and bring it in. But
so which means we have fertilizer companies that can buy the components and come and put it together, right?
Yes, but that is not manufacturing.
Yes, I agree.
That is not manufacturing. Yeah.
I agree.
So we don't produce the components here ourselves.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
So it is important for us to clarify this point because people will see that there is the subsidized fertilizer has got their own mark.
Yes.
Logo.
It's just like the Kantanka company. They go outside and buy the spare parts and come here and assemble it.
Very good. Even that even requires more engineering work.
Yes.
than this one.
Yes.
This one, you just combine the components are just there. You just come and put them together.
Yeah, you buy the MPK, what you buy this, you buy that, then you put it together.
You just put it together. That's all.
Okay.
And you see, and that is not of. It doesn't require so much scientific thinking of it.
Okay.
You see that? You fetch salt, put in pepper, and you put it there, and then that's all. You know? So in 2021, the smuggling of fertilizer got to a very high level that even government came out to admit and to tell us that the fertilizer was being smuggled. No, but the thing that broke my heart and some of us is that they could come out to say that, look, the fertilizer smuggling had taken a novelty to the extent that animals were involved in the smuggling of the fertilizer.
Yes.
And one example was the donkeys which were carrying fertilizer across the border unaided by human beings. You see? So the lamentation was not coming from ordinary people, but it was coming from government officials whose duty is to ensure that this fertilizer is not smuggled out. So we lost everything and allowed the fertilizer to be smuggled out. You know, you see, what is happening to our economy today must have its roots have come from some of these things that we failed to do, and today the entire economy is
apart from the fertilizer issue, what are some of the other issues the ordinary farmers are faced with, challenges that they are faced with? Yes, we now understand the realities confronting the ordinary farmer when it comes to fertilizer issue, which has reduced our production. What are some of the other issues?
Seed was also subsidized. But you see, we have seed and we have grain. The difference is that when you put the grain in the soil, the germination rate will be low because it is grain. So what also happened when government was subsidizing the seed was also that the people who put bag grain as seed, and then sell to the farmers. And when the farmers take it and you go and plant, the germination rate will be low. And if your plant population per acre is low, you should not expect to come and have a high yield because you cannot force the plant to produce more than what it's supposed to. So that was also a major thing. So the seed itself was not the best that we needed. Meanwhile, money was being spent on it. The third one has to do with market. I know production generally depends on market. You produce either for personal consumption or for both personal consumption and then for the market, or you produce to sell out. These are the three options, reasons why one will produce. Now, agricultural produce are bulky in nature and they are perishable. In fact, if I give you a bag of maize, master, you struggle to carry it to your house. If I give you 3 sacks of yam, in fact, you struggle to carry it to the house.
Exactly.
And then if you take it and put it in the house, by the time you want to eat up to half of it, much of it is gone bad.
Yeah.
So all agricultural produce are bulky and then they are perishable. So you see, you must have market that is ready to pick it. So we have very huge post-harvest losses. Look, if you take yam, for instance, up to 50 to 60% of yam that is produced never reach the table of the consumer. Because,
I see.
Yes. But from the farm gate, you carry the yam, then some of it is getting spoiled. By the time they reach here, some of it is spoiled. The market women buy it and put it down. By the time they finish selling, some of it is spoiled. If you also buy and get to the house and cut it, by the time you want to come and eat your yam, part of it is rotten.
Yeah, it's rotten.
So from farm gate to the
final destination,
the table of the consumer, then much of it is gone back. So there was no ready market. Now, why is it that there was no market? Government indicated that the school feeding program was supposed to be sourcing their foodstuffs from the local communities, farmers who produce, so that they can grow the local economy. Unfortunately, that did not happen.
Why?
Because they did not source from there. Because the school feeding program became a centralized purchasing and supply system, whereby it's purchased in Accra and then supplied to even the rural areas.
So, meaning they abandoned the initial idea to source the food from the local farmers?
Yes. It was abandoned. And then the foodstuffs that they even buy, it is not the foodstuffs that are produced in this country. It is imported. They import, they buy the imports of the fish,
the rice, oil,
the rice, and whatever, and then supply to the schools. Even, as part of the school feeding program, they were supposed to be buying eggs from the local poultry farmers. So,
Mr. Carraway, let me ask you this question. Okay. It seems with your explanation, can I ask you whether do you believe that what we are facing now is due to bad governance?
You see, bad governance, in my view, will be an understatement.
Hey.
Yes, it's an understatement. You see, I'm a Ghanaian, and if things go on well for Ghana, I am part of it. If things go on bad for Ghana, I am part of it. It's more than bad governance. It's wickedness. Bad governance, in my view, is that you don't know what to do. But this one, they know what to do, and yet they do not do that.
Wickedness on whose part?
Wickedness on the part of government officials who are supposed to, or government. And government is represented by its officials and various institutions that are supposed to implement those policies. You see, and I can cite the examples to see how it is wickedness. Why will you use foreign exchange to buy fertilizer and come and sit down, allow it to be smuggled out, and you come and tell us the channels through which they smuggle the fertilizer, and yet you cannot stop it? Look, if you go throughout the whole country, you will have security, different forms of security throughout the whole country. We have the police, we have the immigration, we have the national security, we have so many different types of security.
So how successful is this PFG? Because if the point is, if the ordinary farmer is facing challenges,
yes,
and they are not able to produce,
yes,
fine. Then came in the government. The government decided to, take charge of the situation. That look, we are bringing this policy, and based on this policy, we are going to flood the market with foodstuffs. How successful is this PFG?
Well, I'm happy you asked that question. First and foremost, it has two objectives when they started it. One of the objectives was to produce enough food for the people of this country, and then also for industry. Then the second objective was to create jobs. But as we said now, it is you and I, the ordinary person on the street, all of us, to now give a verdict as to whether the planning for food and jobs has actually produced enough food for all of us. If you say no, they have not produced enough food, and I say yes, they have produced enough food, then it will be your word and my word. But government statistician has come out to tell us consistently for the past 2 years or more that food inflation has been the leading cause of the national inflation in this country. So how can you say it is successful when it has been the major area of expenditure of every Ghanaian? Because you spend more and more on food than any other expenditure, because food prices are going up and you can't stop eating. So your income, you spend more on food because inflation is going up. And this is not only 1 month, this is not only 1 year, consistently. You see, to the point where today, this year, when we are harvesting, food prices are still going up. And that has attracted the concern of the government statistician. This is what he has discovered. So it is not about I saying that, the planning for food and jobs is successful. and then another one says that it is not successful. It is about the realities on the ground. And any one of us can go to the market and ask the price of foodstuffs.
I think what pushed us to start this conversation, looking at where you are going, the issue is much bigger than what we thought.
Yes.
It's much bigger. But let me ask you before you go, the issues about Niger, Burkina, the instability at Niger. Does it have any impact on Ghana when it comes to food supply?
You see, sometimes in life you must prepare yourself against the bad days. As a country, all the policies we put in place is to make us, to some extent, self-sufficient. But unfortunately, once our import bill of rice continues to rise, our import bill of food continues to rise, to the extent that even the foodstuffs that we can produce best here, where we have the right climate, we have the right soils, we have the right environment, we have the right waters, quantities of water, we cannot produce it. Tomatoes from the northern part of Ghana, that is from Boko areas, Navrongo areas, areas, down the way to, say, the Ashanti region, including all that area is all good for tomato production. That is why, and then you come back to this part of the country, that is the southern part, you go to Adan areas and so on and the rest. All is good for tomato production. But here we are, Ghana imports 80% of tomato consumption from Burkina Faso.
Wow. Wow.
From Burkina Faso.
And what about onions?
Onions, we import over 70% from Niger. The other country that we can import onions from is India. But if you look at the cost difference, it is easier to import from Niger.
So which means with the current situations in these two countries, obviously Ghana is going to be affected, right?
We are already being affected. I returned from the north 2 weeks ago, and now could not even, the price of onion has gone up more than what it should be. Look, it is not only onion. Our livestock, much of it is supplied from Burkina Faso and then Niger. So the meat you go to the abattoir to eat and the rest and buy and all those things comes from all that places. So it is not only onions and tomato, but even livestock. And let me also tell you something that probably it may not occur to us that it is happening. If you go to the northern part of the country, look, they are supplied with mangoes and the rest from Burkina Faso.
Oh.
Yes.
Whoa.
You'll be shocked. Yes. Yes. So you see, it is not only these two crops, onions and then tomato. It is also about livestock. It is also about mangoes. It is also about other cereals from those countries. But you see, we, as Ghana, what we did to ourselves was to, so to speak, be denial of our problems. We were in denial of the problem. We were not admitting that, look, we could do something with the Platform for Food and Jobs program, but we were presenting it as even meeting 100% success. You see, if a program is meeting 100% success, the risk is that there's no need for you to now look for solutions for it when there are no problems. Because if we've all been to school, when you even get 80%, what is it? It's not A.
Yeah.
What do you need 90% for?
You don't need it.
You don't need it. And in this case, you have gotten 100%. So why will you say you are looking for solutions to solve what problem? Because you are claiming that there was no problem. Even now, you could see. You see, I'm saying this thing because 20 years ago, when we were in the North, we were not admitting that there was no problem. Even now, you could see. You see, I'm saying this thing because 20 years ago, when we were in the North, we were not admitting that there was no problem. Even now, you could see. You see, I'm saying this thing because 20 years ago, when we were in the North, we were not admitting that there was no problem. Even now, you could see. You see, I'm saying this thing because if you look at the mid-year budget, maize production per the minister's figures was up by 135%. So I asked the question, is it from January to date? Because it's a mid-year budget. I know budget is annual one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it from January to date that maize production has gone up by 135%, or is he talking about maize production from 2017 when the Plan for Food and Jobs program started to date? If it is today, then it means we are talking about an average figure. That also again tells us that in one of the years from 2017 to date, or some of the years would have been more than 135%. That's maize production. But that never happened. It was only in 2020 when His Excellency the President was reading his State of the Nation address on 5th January 2021 that he indicated that 2020 maize production was 110% over 2019 production. He even went further to say that rice production in 2020, which was the COVID year, was 38% higher than 2019 when there was no COVID. Now, that suggested to us that COVID never affected our agricultural production. You see, because in the COVID year, we were still producing. Now, but unfortunately, few months after that announcement in the State of the Nation address in 2021, few months, March, April, there was no maize in the system. Now, and we are all witnesses to the fact that there was no maize.
So meaning the figures given out by the president was cooked ones.
Well, certainly they don't reflect what is on the ground. They just do not reflect what is on the ground. And that's what I'm asking today. It is in the figures, the budget. Maize, it has gone up by 135%. What is the explanation to it? Is it that from January to date, when we are still harvesting the maize, how do we come to that conclusion that production has come up by 135%? Supposing that it is limited from January to date. If it is not limited to January to date, and it is for the entire Plan for Food and Jobs program, then it means it is an average figure. I mean, well, they should show us. I've not heard or come across any figure in a particular year whereby maize production has gone up by 135%, let alone to say that it has gone up more than that. You see, so figures have been bundled, figures have been poured into the system, then you cannot verify those figures on the ground.
Anyway, I think we need to find time and have a studio conversation on this matter.
I will be more than grateful because, look, to solve Ghana's problem is to solve our food problem. And it is not rocket science because the figure today to all of us is that inflation is our major, enemy. Over 40%. You see, it's our major enemy. So if food is representing over 50% of the over 40% inflation, and we are able to reduce the price of food by increasing our food production, then we are addressing the inflation issue.
All right.
You see, so it is important for all of us, and I think that we must avert our minds to why we are unable to do it and what we should do to make sure that we reduce food inflation.
I promise you today that I'll offer my platform for that project.
Okay, sir. We are ready. We are Ghanaians. We are sharing our ideas. We hope government is listening, and we would discuss these issues dispassionately, and then to offer suggestions, and then we enjoin our public officials, those who are there for us, because we pay them, and they are to listen to us, to implement the policies, our views, so that it will help all of us. Otherwise, here we are with IMF and taking some token, and yet bad conditionalities are imposed on all of it, and all of us are suffering because we've gone to IMF.
Anyway, thank you, sir, for speaking to Accra FM Citizen Show.
Thanks very much, sir, for giving me the opportunity. I am extremely honored to be part of
You're
your
welcome.
program.
You're welcome, sir. All right, so Edward Karawe, General Secretary, Agricultural Workers Union, Ghana. And I need to come fertilizer, fine. Seedlings, fine. Yeah, we be go outside. Papa will say, I remember that Mahama made plans to build fertilizer factory in Ghana before leaving office. I have even heard that the factory was under construction before he left office. So please, Commander, check it for us, okay? Around from why Papa will lead the Jumaba. Charles Cardinal say there are ample lands in the Afram Plains, which is underutilization for agriculture. What is happening? I don't know. I can't tell. Zege Osum says, Kwabena, Beshe Yilo, and Menya Krobo, Rose, Ubesu, you go cry. Kofi Agbetefe, Ewo, Michigan, US of A. Now, Kwame, for a city business, to Hamame. Obi send me information be on rice. Is it rice importation, right? Okay. So, okay. Kwajo and Krumaba say, where's a free yakuto in all this? Or to tabodi achi ye can pay. A free yakuto. A free yakuto per president edi. Senya MPP na egua. But who say Akufo-Addo edi president? Enti there is question say nyame mwaye. Aduane boye di o. Ekom okrom o masa. Ekom okrom. Power is of no use without wisdom to know how and when to use it. Alex Kofi Gowo Amedeka. Moses Kwame say, Eyepa, that we are in this mess. Ekomo kromo, adiana eba no ekomo ba. Ote Ghana, wosu ye PFJ. We could drop parliament. What's the Sessica when Sessica? So, your fat Jenny almost by 70%. Every Niger, fat tomatoes by 80%. Every Burkina. Now, check this story by Emmanuel Pong. Ghanaians to pay more for rice as imports face 40% reduction. It's okay. Ain't you know? You see, one more local farmers. You are talking about reducing importation. Rice farmers don't want to say na buy with swabwa. Local rice production essay. Wasn't conform for akuko fruma. Na taxes na OGG no just to discourage people from bringing a akuko fun. Poultry production. Ewo Ghana ha and to say and the Ghana ni to kusua ba ko say kusua ye no adi Ghana ni to de say akoko o de kokra no de ye no de mpanifo de de dodo layer ya bawi on de ne na wo den to say de obi player bi bo kuma pem stars no ne na wo den say Isaka say I 14,000 Ghana cedis bet and they are taxing me 1,500. They will also deduct e-levy if I send the money home. And yeah, ujejideje. Mame emotion story we influence and Alisu we numaba. Omoba omo mame nye. Krofo wo menye papa. Omo nye kra. Enti mame emotion. Mame emotion na menti we ne free wo. Say it. Me ba bobo me raffle no and then Friday. Beji bikodi. 1,000 cedis 25 Ghana pe. *413 hash. Would him say zimza? Would the game zimza? Game zimza. Now, Mokai said and say a sissy kabiaira. Now, already actual a year petition. 11th August 2023. I copied the chairman, Public Accounts Committee of Parliament House, petition for investigation into the amount of 52.5 billion Ghana cedis transfer from Ghana Commercial Bank, PLC. Now, my memory just 2 paragraphs of this petition. I say, I'm writing this petition as a citizen of Ghana. In a letter dated 5th October 2020 from the Audit Service to the Managing Director of GCB Bank PLC, the Auditor General demanded the bank to explain why an amount of 2.5 billion Ghana cedis was transferred from the bank into an unknown account. Since then, the Auditor General has not provided any explanation to the Ghanaian taxpayer to explain, 1, where the money was transferred to, who authorized that amount to be transferred by the bank, 3, into what account was the money transferred, then 4, details of the recipient account and any related issues. So we have a former president, Chartered Institute of Taxation, Ghana, and fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accounts, Ghana, Ora Kofi Afo. Ewa humaso. Ovo Kofi, akwaba?
Yemi Bobie.
Bogode.
Yemi Adumo.
Ovo Kofi, again na aka wama wa yes petition we akoma Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. Chechire mu.
Yo, me dasi. Medina said me aflu and ya afu.
Oh, okay. Aflu.
Yeah, aflu. Yeah.
Aflu. Okay. Pacho, facha me, Madaroma.
Yeah, nothing. You can't in here. Because petition is 1. Sikana yeka wasem. Meno sika. It is tax revenue, and at one yadiji all over the country. Yadikoma Ghana Commercial Bank was a woman transfer banco consolidated fund no Bank of Ghana. Serbia Ababeniska Edia and Pujuma. Now it is a GCB Bank ever transfers getting in Edia Co consolidated fund no. Auditor General says Sikanumu 52.5 billion AMCO consolidated fund no. Saskano FA baby echo some unknown destination. In fact, on the general letter, I say source, but I wouldn't use the word source because source means where it is coming from. But me, I use destination. Yeah, just the monies went to unknown destination. It is on my church. Now, if we come one more year, one more choice, letter, no. I'm saying, can we tell anybody I can watch about social media? Now, since then, no, you know, I know you be but you come and say, you can't say Ghana, you go IMF, I got you 3 billion loan bill, and I'm telling you, that's a Sikaya, a commercial banking, 52.5 billion. So who convert it into dollars? That time, no, as at the rate of 5.77522 cedis to the dollar. No, that's going to go by 9.1 billion US dollars.
Yes, 52 point something billion Ghana cedis, no.
52.5 billion. Am I 9.1 billion dollars? It is a 9.1 billion dollars here, which is 3 times what we are seeking from the IMF. Why don't we rather find out where these monies went to? Collect the monies,
instead of going to IMF. So, and a petition, Parliament said, no, so you was asking a bank, that's it. Then Parliament should investigate for us to know who authorized the transfer of the money into the unknown destinations, because accounts don't necessarily go. They're going to transit accounts. Now, transit accounts are holding accounts. Accounts be any entries. It will be entering to a check and be his account. It is a 1,000 cities the Becos account no more. Says how 1,000 regional eco consolidated fund or Bank of Ghana. So how did it happen, sir? She can be a SB baby. Say if you show who the beneficiaries of that money were. Accounts in Kwa, because commercial bank agent can't let me say, Oba transfers car, Akoma, Mr. A or Mr. B, a woman named the particulars of Mr. A or Mr. B. Because definitely the bank should know the account details of the Biascano Echo. So as I said, in the woman engine, normal friend auditor general, normal friend commercial bank, no woman to have the first kind of way, because it is the taxpayers' money, Menusika. Now, what is even interesting?
Pacho, Uncle Kofi, minim sewa ready Saturday we be Ghana Commercial Bank, communicate to come and explain this. So I have in my hand, I'll say press statement immediately.
I've read that. I don't agree with commercial bank.
Why? I don't think you disagree with them.
Yes, I disagree because Auditor General actual letter. That's what I say. The Auditor General will not just stand up and they write anything if they don't have some information. So that's what I say.
Yeah.
The GRA has six different holding accounts for tax revenue in GCB Bank. So that's what I say. And you know, they have provided figures. In fact, I can give you the figures for all the 6 accounts that they didn't find. And I'm able to tally 52 billion, 537 million, 175,000, 778.13 Ghana cedis. Anchor Consolidated Bank, Consolidated Fund. If the GCB cannot come and say, they cannot just come and rubbish what the Auditor General has said. Well, and what is more interesting is Deputy Auditor General signed that letter. George S. Winford.
Yeah.
What him say you're transferred the free? You're transferred the free Auditor General.
Oh, how?
You're transferred to Ministry of Finance. I call any director. Why? They did the transfer.
I see.
Now, the only one who said, what is that case? What was that investigation when Dominovo was the Auditor General?
No, but Uncle Kofi, what did he say? Onipa da sani bet me diverting $9.2 billion akoto baby say or the akoto baby. Are you sure?
Okay.
Because we are chartered accountant, so I know that your integrity is intact and you understand the system more than we do. What did this onipa da sani pa bet me diverted $9.2 billion somewhere?
Apart from being a chartered accountant, I am a certified forensic investigation professional. That's what I say.
I see.
So I look beyond figures. So what I say, you know, me family be a trash. What I say, the onus of proof lies on the Auditor General and Commercial Bank. In fact, if anyway, yes, you know, well, so which I believe it can be diverted, and it was diverted. It was diverted into, in a way. Yeah, you know, what question? So we be say whether we give this say we be to be is yes. And you would want near because it is the taxpayers' money. We cannot let it go. Yes, the money got trash. So,
I said I know you. I said because I can see Unimbi, but with your background, the young seven be a kind of public.
Oh yes, of course. Mature public affairs committee. It is a public affairs committee per federal and better particulars. They can always call me. So what I say, I have spoken to the chairman of the committee, Honorable Abiji. I have spoken to him. So he knows very much about this. And I'm sure they will also do their independent investigation from other sources. So what I say.
Yeah.
Because under the 1992 Constitution, it is only the Bank of Ghana that can authorize any institution to collect money on behalf of government. So what I say, the Minister of Finance has no right to write to any bank say, what did your revenue be on behalf of government? He doesn't have that right. We say Article 183 of the Constitution gives that mandate to the Bank of Ghana. So what I say. So you know what I'm coming from. So what I say. If I were the Auditor General, I would surcharge both the Minister for Finance and Commercial Bank to pay that money. Yes.
Papa, my confused. Trust me. I wish say Bibia say no and I say in Ghana.
Really?
Yes, Papa. Sound American because we shut the current happenings. Say na mene Agricultural Workers Union President Ekasewi. We shut the challenges facing the farmers. Omunya fertilizer. Government into suppliers almost supply fertilizer car.
Yeah.
Subsidy has been removed. Obviously, we are faced with food shortage. PFJ no anye. Burkina and Niger are facing the same share. You imported tomatoes 80% from Burkina. You imported onion 70% from Niger. Say instability across the region. And so nipa dasani, if indeed is true, so nipa dasani at me a divertiska way after every my way more. Me what dream kakra.
Bobie, Mami Misao. Time when year 2020 elections.
What's the time there?
Time when year 2020 elections.
Say December 17th year too about.
Time when she can hear our commercial.
Scanner almost no November.
Between August and October.
Yeah, between August and October. Yeah. Any 5th October. Yeah, 5th October is kind of
3 months to 2020 election.
Yes.
Yes.
So
you don't need a prophet to tell you where the money went to.
Of course, I cry from that. You bedding come actually.
Okay. With that.
Akwa na busuafo kunye. Bebo. Hey. Kronu ni. We di ase aginamwa ni akwase so mo abegu ye ho so. Bobo.
Give us P capsules. A memedry, Manum Bia Benamua, Canim Tutu and Kumabua, Sessedia, Petro Esa Kum Benia G. Give us P capsules. Give it to me, baby. Give us core capsules as well. And man, Memena Coco Yadie, Sisiadie, a Mamania Yam Timotete Womono, Yedruno, Manumbi, a Mama Deme. Give us core capsules, Mrs. Moya Ding. Give us core capsules. I give it to you, baby. You give it to me. Oh, yeah. Hey. Give us in no. A man need ya bebusiamu papa. Na bema can give us P capsules. And ni give us core capsules bomunum dia. Na eni jenia hodeno. Wabrudo. Give us P capsules. And men what if you do what you do cronkwan efa. Give us core capsules. A pain for a batter one more menu for one kwada when if you do me nunka ho. E wo drugstore beer motofonko. Give us Herbal Center. Teshi Mobile. And na Teshi Adriami. Phone numbers 0543 222 470 and 050 68
FD Ashusha Sa Ejedi Enkrato Imu Ajia to Muse Eye.
Why are you scratching so fast on the Pepsodent box?
I want to be the first to enter the back-to-school promo to win exciting prizes for Kwame to school.
Awesome!
Yes, there are exciting prizes to be won instantly.
Is it only Pepsodent? So I start scratching.
No! Key Bar and Geisha are included. All you need to do is simply buy your favorite bathing soap that lasts long, Geisha, Key Soap, and multi-purpose bar with Ghanaian heritage, and your maximum cavity protection toothpaste, Pepsodent. Scratch panel and text to short code *844*40# to win exciting prizes instantly. If you accumulate higher points on all 3 products, you can win the ultimate rewards of 5,000 Ghana Cedis cash prize, a tabletop fridge, and 1,000 Ghana Cedis Malcolm shopping vouchers. There are over 200,000 rewards to be won. Redeem your prizes at any Unilever distributor's point. Anyways, promo starts from July to August. This advert is FDA approved.
Quick credits ya say sika pe enna fom intina ya basa ya becheche wo yam bosia bonche hye ho wutumi babosia edifi aso ya fi 1,500 Ghana cedis edeko na ne wo hia ne wo national ID card wo hia sa wo betu susu wo hia awowa yen giseke bia nto ho wo nsanso hia se wo ne yen bebue futuo bia quick credits wo homa o say ye dwa na wo pese wudi ana wo pese wo hye ejuma fofrase ana say school fees Anabo ye Bosumi ejmaya fonso ye wobi mamo. Nemum kai say ye mobosia ewo internet so afen so omantika krobia batang Bank of Ghana and Ansah ojumedie yimu. Enti tutunri kana freyeng was 0302-200-390 and 0596-920-833. Quick credits, lending made simple. Kai say jumedie yin shishaye kakra wo ho.
Hey, say, dear Mako, who our Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic, no, me who crab me, say, and Nunti Mania award, a word bestie, Obian Transit Emma Dumpemia, dear Cassa, and Ansah Boya, dear, and cannon to them with you.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic, as I want to say, near Kro Etuno, near Anchor, I want to know, Obana Bemo Power, and Yarwankaye. Nancy Mamika say, and the Spana called Moekayeno. Greenfield at Arumenti, and was our soldier and also APM. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic, our ultra modern laboratory. And a diagnostic machine, sir. I should share the pediatric Kasa. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Our Nungwa Dogon, Estate Junction, last stop. Frewa 0243-983-906 and 0261-651-898. Greenfield. God is our healer. Greenfield. Your last stop.
I believe. CMGC Cartadio. Yeah! Here say, Ubebo star 413 house. Our MTN peso. I want to know one. I want Saka Watadie. I CMGC Cartadio promotion. Yeah, I feel yes, you better do. Some person when you CMGC Cartadio bia, and you're quite well now, Befaso. Step 1, but star 413 hash. Our MTN so. Step 2, choose a FM. Now what dear, the prompt in a chi. And so I will show us the coming in a ever corner yamau. Sikachadia promotion, a cash in and win big promotion. When you are dear, what's our year? Win your share of 24,000 bonanza. Shannon Swo, do be our taxi, and your cost star 413 hasado, and never more when you say, Umedinkunim, our CMG Sikachadia promotion or so. A cash bag from Class Media Group. Kai huna say, Sa Jumedie Way, and share da home. The National Lottery Authority, our Caritas Lottery Platform, and a boy chidom. Unyam Fisher dun watri airqua, one ka Jumedie home. CMGC Cartadio! Yeah!
The system has nothing on her. Those in power fear what she can do. She is Madame, and she is here. On one hand, she's a humanitarian, and on the other, she's using them to seduce men in power for favors. Madame is a new drama series that explores the evils of an uncontrolled system where young women are exploited. Showing Mondays to Fridays at 8 p.m. on Aquaba Magic, DSTV channel 150, and Go TV channel 102. Stay connected on Star 759#.
When we send your police in your draw, Imbusaba Mesa Amama Huadeng.
Refuse to grow, and young offense were back.
And what day immune system or Yankopon, and your ready pediamus somewhere who by no, and Nasa wonum Imbusaba Mesa, a peja immune system nabribia. Ya Yantimu. Say, dear, a month for the one, the Imbusaba Mesa, Dronua dance yes, and Yarwa who ran Nipa and Yina etimi banaso, and in Yarwa Cassian Kaya Wutini D and a whole car. Now Yamwa suing Yano, a way who buy every home. And now Pa, one Yarwana Dada, no monum doctor and Rono, and num Imbusaba Mesanoa, and Momo who are deep in tea. Ya Womuntim Pose, Yaria Esomo. Imbusaba Mesa, a walk Kaisi, and you may move Bia Yato in row at 0246 20 8496. FDA, Ashisha said, Jedi and Kratui Maja to Musay.
CMGC Cartadio! Yeah! Near here, say, Ubaba star 413 house, our MTN peso. I'm one more. No one's that come what's a dear. I CMGC Cartadio promotion. Yeah, I feel yes, you better do. Some person when you CMGC Cartadio beer, and you're quite well now, Befaso. Step 1, but star 413 hash, our MTN so. Step 2, choose a FM. Now, what dear, the prompt in it. And so I will so as the coming in now, ever con the year yamau. Sikatadia promotion, a cash in and win big promotion. When your dear was our year, win your share of 24,000 bonanza. Shannon swore, do be our taxi, and your cost star 413 hasado, and never more when you say, Uvedinkunim, our CNG Sikatadia promotion or so. A year cash bag from Class Media Group. Kai huna say, Sa Jumedie Way, and she shared the home. The National Lottery Authority, our Caritas Lottery Platform, and a boy chidom. Unyam Fisher dun watri airqua, one ka Jumedie home. CNGC Cartadio! Yeah!
Wabatele Accra FM, yeah, mommy. Wabatele Accra FM, yeah, mommy.
Saturday night, you walk club in the moon. Area Morton's amen, shock and a Google cup in the moon. As a ship in the other Bible, the bay, no coffee say now, so just snap in the bay. Into girls from the other chapel, walk by no brother, one of the club or bay. Into Yamasun Pa, Nayarisumia, it's a wunya. Nabisa waso then Yamasumpa, Nayarisumia, that when your phone went to me eventually. Yamasumpa, Nayarisumia, that's a robe in a kunda plastic. Yamasumpa, Nayarisumia. Miss Atom Budapa, and then Yami Beba physical now. So one comes to the past, I'm sure no heaven when any pa. Cause no crown, no one so suffering to one car. Sick of something to chapel and halfway to Mwamba, onto Mwamba. I won't put on the things fall apart. Echo was anointed men touch. Chapel, it was school supply. Just remember, see one to me, poor Kobe. In your Missumpa, Nayarisumia, Bissawunia, Nabissa was so more than your Missumpa, Nayarisumia, just Mamia, Ericuna Jenny, Yamisumpa, Nayarisumi, Numna Mambo as old as Shabitasi, Yamisumpa, Nayarisumia. Come on, so afraid you are. Nazia eke wadawa, maramu shabu nazia dawa no. Come so afraid you are. Na wadawa no more. Intinya mesumpa na yerisumia, bisawunia, na bisawasu denya mesumpa na yerisumia. Na Jehovah for ban erugoni. Sumpa na yerisumia Bisawunya na bisawasu na na na
Listo Akwaba
Yenu Akwaba
Boko there
Yehu adum.
All right, minim say enche Esther and Ajiman will join us in the studio and Hontoso will join us in the studio. Min what's ye a year 2 interviews a year no. Minim which one now person picky. And I know can same be and based on the kind on the mama de koyes agric a jumano. That it's likely say a bit facey a year food shortage. Ekwamu kromo.
Papa.
Street no why she yaw. Amount for chire there is too much anose. The kromo. Na utie me ya so follow my name Mr. Edward Kawe.
Unfortunately no man timenti.
Yeah.
I just am say later part of it now.
Yeah. But na or chiremu de ediabe drew baby a ye fertilizer.
I'm sure say okay fertilizer okay.
Fertilizer. Or say Ansah 2021 na a binary reduces subsidy to 15%. No one can check your phone. Say the cry.
Zero.
Then the issues about the abandoning to me
100% free no.
Okay. Abandoning to mean tria suppliers na so catch say because you crack a free outside. Or mind to say, but in course of the interview, no be a imagine say enka JMAC fertilizer production company Ghana.
Yeah, it was part of his na sa Canadian dollar facility na no the machinery ne agricultural
I see.
Na it was all
I
part
see.
of
Anyway. So seedlings subsidy free so. It says so munya bimpo. Then the issues about market in New York. PFJ no ageno. Now Niger Burkina issues. And also helping me because tomatoes are yedi. And around me koto salmon I will be say Cote d'Ivoire salmon and ede na ye no buono e wosoro
Abidjan yeah.
How? Then tomatoes okwa ni akacho say Burkina tomatoes na ede.
Yeah.
I mean, there are issues a compa fita okrum. Then obusa question be say na PFJ scano away. Utie Mr. Afro,
yeah.
Or also a dear Boba ne the anose. The 52.5 billion Ghana cedis ayira. Every Ghana commercial bank. 52.5 billion is equivalent to 9.2 billion Ghana cedis. That's Samreno offer a year dollar rate. Samreno a year na dollar rate no offer now breaking down that. So I don't know, sir.
Peke free agriculture.
Yeah, can you?
Mamenche T4, Mamenche Afre4.
Boom.
Adofoni atamfo and omaji brete we nyina. Yankopon emi atamfo na adwunim.
alhamdulillah
atamfo a mo sorry tia o my Ghana nyame mi o madwenim na sabi adwene na enya adwuma ne kura po nyankopɔn fa nsenkyerene nka adwene no na onhu ne manfo mmɔbɔ na akufo ado baabi ɔde o man ne nam no ya hwe ye bedru baabi no Ghana ni betimi aton ne ba adidi baabi aye nam no ɛhɔ tru papa especially so wo hwɛ de ekoso ɛwɔ the French colonies ne so a ama baabi agina no enya kra ehu papa na ɛyɛ na ni nyina no nse ade ba ko a ɛma ɔmanfo enye kitikiti ɛwɔ man bi so ɛyɛ na ɛkom sɛ ɛkom ni hɔ a ofi sɛ wanya bibia di sɛ bi obenya baabi ada nyoma ekoso no kra ehu sɛ de kra na at least they can be very hopeful say China will be better than today. Anunti the main idea was enka abai way emani focus ekoso papa agriculture. Akabra free sell man penny ekufo do be man penny no. If Ansah na obey man penny no na idea no more cap fa John Mahama abai ne ho no was say agriculture atofo ama eyakọ negative na sabre no Kwabena na aban no enhyehyeye ene ne nneoma oyɛ no na eyade a kuyani bia ni ho no ma organ ha sabi wanya saa nneoma ne so mfaso even though John Mahama ebo ni trimpo sɛ obeye bia ka ho obema na ye the inputs of agriculture na obema na ye kese a chense de no oye no fofi antoata na akufado num ene sa ochami akotoba no friend is free akoto omo
ba wonim ni din pa se o man ti bembe but enkola no kuma so omo friend ya tog
ya tog ya tog de ba be agric minister Kwabena Adam ete se wabo ni din se oye agric minister designate no Kwabena me reho pa why because oyobia mene na hia o GTV
waka so ya
aye debate on agriculture. Not because I read agric, but because fortunately for me, my father was into agriculture. And my father was into poultry, cash crops.
And you're not
so I have fair knowledge from infancy what agriculture means and what neson faswo eye ema omai enunti ye the topic be to ho na ye discuss about food security Kwabena ade a me try the tape no na ebe me yase me nya tape no ansana a friend is saying omato omabana ebe ha me pa sa question na yebusa and say why do you want to be flag bearer no he said worse than that on that
GTV.
Yes, we were there with Professor Bedu Akusa. In fact, he Professor Bedu Akusa at some point no ultimi na ultimi say Australia ma be sure said the BCC but pathologist is so there oh he could not because there's somebody a wa born Kwabena kase obi a born so obi oko school na wa we teacher se ma we for no enye bia we no enye se teacher na se wa we o the ultra we kura wonya wa born. He's the worst form of somebody to ever. I'm never convinced that me doctorate na ekura no enye fake. Ebi an obekom kura na honorary.
Basa group ndom hu.
Yes. What born? Your busan is full security, no. Kwabena, the first thing I know me say, Obia or say or your doctor in agric economy there, he should have a fair knowledge as to how to make bumper harvest.
There be why you have fisheries.
Yes.
What's the answer?
Yeah. They say no agric, Kwabena. So we can forgive her at least. Agriculture.
Yeah.
But when there was also a doctor, a friend said, or a doctor in the field of agric economy. It's the first thing I mean my dream about so say I was saying how to make agric input no a priority. Now when you bumper harvest, then after bumper harvest, you can now think about how to preserve and put food in silos. Ansah. Kwabena, do you need to go to Harvard? Oh, then what started? But so, and I was see a paper soldier for Kujinjana. Now, I'm out for the Ghana fertilizer and Ghana. I'm out for the a new man. Your friend is saying, in Fudiano, Ghana call other countries. So, meanwhile, on that same platform, there's no say, Adriani mining. Oh. Nti we me catch you say ochiami akoto sebi okoto awanoma na obi jimechinye. So that is where our troubles began.
Yeah.
Because we put a square peg in a round hole. Obi a only nimdie efa agriculture ho. Any edene kotena agric sector ho. Kwabena when you say for the first time enam krono na aban ni person obonti one ne bonti no. Almost had the cocoa question ase. When you say cocoa has always been separated from that ministry.
Okay.
Emma and Nemino can say cocoa board so agu. Kwabena cocoa board ma contract 100 Ghana kromunyes kempia.
You also a host Ansah.
O ma shini na asa syndicated loan or whatever o ma discount o ma shini na o ma discount na o ma tete no ene cocoa board de ka. This is a company under Professor Mills Mahama. And Akufo, Kwabena, me say, President Akufo, Juma ma Koko, by the time I offer a bemuno, na yenya 1 million, I hit 1 million, a friend is a ton. Emma, Professor Mills, no so be ye be 12. Emma, John Mahama time, and also so. Who say, and ne, Kuyani Swan, Kwabena, first, a Swan Naka Kuyani be soon say, Ebia, what do. Enya enfudie but onya tofo ena tofo ho but
omunya aduane
enya aduane iti ama aduane boa ye din wonwuram na afri nwuram abedu kromu no Kwabena transport okura wode be fri nwuram e de aba kromu no ekwan a enye eye baako ena petrol boa akosoro ama kuani no ene ni ho he ahoyeyi a wo komu no ontimi etise obi an kakane no bi otimi do bi a 10 acres ebi a 20 acres eko nanim no obi an ko otimi do a very huge your friend is saying land no ene ontimi because the cost of ebi a obe plow asase de your friend is saying tractor be do no ene fuel obeto de agu tractor mu no when is care de koto the land size can you betimi adono and wontimi ndo busa ho se sa bre na petrol boye ebi a 6 cedis a gallon eno kra na yesi e wosoro no ema omo ana omo de tractor ye adwuma e wo techiman afran plains such afran plains na making any other places are omo do no baya kese magana fonya aduane die no sabre no krampo no omo say omo ntimi nyeske ntwa tractor ka etina ebinum kofa afunumu se afunumu so no onya aduane papa ni nti afunumu abre wa hwehwan afunumu so ntimi not say tractor timi do bia 10 acres a day afunumu this what the bia 3 weeks and ebetimi eno kra 3 weeks wan say na je say ahomegie bam de ebeko be 4 to 5 weeks because nya de bia na betimi atwe ne yere na ode ne nam na wado awie no sebi wahye awie a wo ba yɛwɔ insecticides ɛne pesticides a wode bɛyɛ ɛnɔbayɛ wo seedlings kura mpo Kwabena ne boa yɛ den wote aseɛ nti wobɛyɛ nursery wobɛtutu atintim kyɛ sɛ akuafoɔ brɛ papapapapapa nti no sɛ wone me nua no di nkɔmmɔ no na ɔɔka saa nneɔma no I think sɛ it's about time a ɔmo ɛma ɔmo nsɛm ɛda adi more maybe they don't have enough platforms na yɛnso yɛbɛserɛ sɛ
baya okay nipa ne mfi wɛde na bɛ
sometimes no ɛnyɛ sɛ wɔn mfiw kɛkɛ nti wo so wobɛtwa so abɔso baa ɛna ɛmɛgya
paa ɛbɛyɛ fɛsi anka ɛfa yɛ adeɛ eti woka no wɔn mfiw a ɛdeɛ yɛ ha na aban no woka no wɔn mfiw a ɛnyɛ meka no sɛ aban no woka no wɔn mfiw a ɛdeɛ yɛ ha na wobɛyɛ
nti ɛno yɛ one aspect of it Kwabena adeɛ a yɛfrɛ no fertilizer aban wei adi Ghanafoɔ akuafoɔ hwamɔ papaapa
why
Kwabena akufoɔ de ɔyɛ wudini paa kɛse paa wɛ wonim sɛ fertilizer John Mahama ɛkɔfa baayɛ a no wɔde kyekyɛ yɛ a ɔmo yɛɛ sɛ ɔmo bɛtɔn nti akuafoɔ ntimi antɔ yɛ a it got to a point a na kuani no oni sika ɔde bɛtɔ nti fertilizer ne timi expire ɛma ɔmo kɔhwie fertilizer ne kɔgu Kenya Japan constituency ɛma papa no a ɔmo yɛ saa video no na ɔwɔ mu no woni sɛ ɔmo kɔkyerɛ ne bo no Kenya Japan wudi ni we a papa no baabi a na ɔda no na maadwen yɛ me sɛ onya nkwa a na nyame na ayɛ because obi ayɛ ne video ɛna ɔkyerɛkyerɛ mu sɛ nneɛma na nka John Mahama de kyɛ Ghanafoɔ kwa akuafoɔ kwa no akufoɔ do baa yɛ a ɔmo tɔn na akuafoɔ ntumi anya sika ntɔ nti ama saa nɔbaeɛ no na yɛfrɛ ne sɛn fertilizer no a expire ama ɔmo akɔhwie fertilizer na gu fam fertilizer obi de kyɛw ɔmanfoɔ ne akuafoɔ kwa no ɔmo kɔhwie gu fam ɛna ɔsɛ ɔno deɛ ɔsesɛ bi akɔgu ne mfudeɛ so na sɛ expire koraa mpo a sɛ bi shit man koraa yɛde yɛ Emmanuel nti ɛma akuafoɔ edi aban wei ho yaw ne nyinaa so yɛ ɔsafomafo wo sɛ yɛ ɔsafomafo na President Kufuor time no Macmillan buka na nkolaa yɛde sua adeɛ a na yɛatwerɛkyerɛ not for sale no ɔno na ɛyɛ the first person a ɔkyerɛkyerɛ mu sɛ not for sale no ahyɛkyerɛ sɛ yɛ kɔtɔn ɛna ɔka kyerɛ saa time no yɛ senior minister ɔka kyerɛ aban wei sɛ ɔmo nyɛ den ɔmo ntɔn ɛna ɔmo tɔn ma akuafoɔ ɛna ɔmo ntumi antɔn nti sɛ wo discuss fertilizer Kwabena ɛyɛ adeɛ a ɛkae akuafoɔ yaw paa san sɛ nka akuafoɔ yɛ nipa bi a ɔmo ho hia man a nka me ne wo mmienu nyinaa nka ɛna yɛ ne bi ɛno yɛ fertilizer insect ne saa nneɛma pesticides ne insecticides ne deɛ sɛ maka ho asɛm Kwabena deɛ baako a ɛsa ɛyɛ akuafoɔ ya paa yɛ bɔhyɛ a bawomia a wadi amien wɔde ɛhyɛ akuafoɔ a na ɔmo nim sɛ saa bɔhyɛ no sɛ wɔtumi di so a ɛbɛboa ma nka ɔmo nso so ɔmo atumi yɛ all year round farming a nka adeɛ yɛfrɛ no seasonal farming no nka ɛtwam farming across board sɛ woyɛ fish sɛ woyɛ cattle sɛ woyɛ funny livestock na yɛfrɛ no sɛn woyɛ mfudeɛ ɔho bawomia bɛka kyerɛ Ghanafoɔ nyinaa sɛ ɔyɛ one village one dam Kwabena one village one dam ɛbɛyɛ policy a ɔmampanin Kufuor saa brɛ no a na ɔwɔ aban mu no mekae sɛ na ɛyɛ one of the visions a Emma owura alanchematenom obekaya presidential special initiative na omo ede aye one of their main activity line baby ana omo grow to say rice ne cassava ni we no na it was their main you say omo de your friend is saying irrigational facilities ebeba sa field ho na omo boa amana ye all year round farming because say at that time no because I was so much attached to
Europe for
Alan
Martin no
na o don't say him sweet
I say na Chief Martin wa they say the media ja mebu maketem amakotan ram hamachi and as a former boss once a soldier always a soldier me kai sanyo manepa because they knew say Alan with that background no say o start say okoye sa adwuma na e bi e be more successful no e ho na ekufa do titi free sa ayinim entu nim say me kura no I expected say nka one village one dam no e be kwa share agric ministry ase ana say nke bia ko mbeti bibi ti special initiative sa presidential special initiative no na nkom de ama no okoti bibi ma hawa kumsen minister for fisheries aka malo professional employment ukraine safwa no aloko eti it got to a point na ono as minister no na we say let the cat out of the bag because osisika wo dey man is on fan one village one dam no enya meaningful
about the 250,000 Ghana
akosi dam meanwhile what abonte no the way I preach it dam mag amafo feel ye no na enya sa dam we na na omu feel say ebebo o ma ehun ni say eye dam a eba bebo ama your friend is irrigation aye adwuma but to our dismay no this is what happened and you know last but not the least no I think say water one of the most important your friend say inputs in farming no there ekuafo ho ehihia omo papa and there's a person who go to maybe to say borehole kwabna mechanized borehole unis kakesia to the tune of about 80 to 90,000 adding na ekuafo saying omo betimi ayesa anoma ne wo omo farms akesiem na eno kra no to what extent and na betimi apomp nsuo and distance be a making o ye acreage of about 20 one borehole enso ehn fa na be pumping nsuo na gu and a polytank yi na omo diska egu mu yi omo guys nsuo e digu polytank omo diska na egu mu abugina po me chia ba bia wo bia o ti ase enu ti no ama akuafo ho akọ atwe bibia ho akọ atwe ama akuafo ho kire omo yie papa meka I'm not a prophet of doom kwabra in the coming year aduane ho be dey papa
but papa na mne nkasa kra de o se by December
ebe ehu kra
ahwe ya de be sinye
say we have been dependent on Niger, Burkina, Togo and our neighboring countries. Even in Nigeria we are very dependent in terms of agriculture and friends omo production. Say you know and tokwana ekoso to say Niger no ama jeni ho akwatwe papa and then obi a wo ye trader o dealing onions no so what in a truck koya walodu enche be pro
na unim say per Edward analysis no enye jeni nko
tomatoes
nko meat
yes and I'm so carrots say yes carrots there I think say Burkina for no any more then never ban who fin but
Burkina for no say Burkina for no they don't allow ye a dread for no mum system
there be say there say asema ekufa do ko kan so me catch say uni penny nyansani adue enya penny keke say uni penny nyansani wo fi a obekwa akoka beka ho wono na aduane bi ani we free Ghana han no die ono odi corn beef and we salad or no salad near the free Europe near Brenny de Bia. You see what can be kind. She said, Niger for aye cool nice successful come up. IFA. Omuguswa. Obienguye. Ebi omugram de wood the eden. Obienguye. And omunam no mu twa say nipa wu nipa na omawunsu ehu omo. And amunam na mo bo sujetri. Ono kura ya che ne krampo no. Ono na nani age. Otima se. Na wu akufo ado wu ne tinibu. Tinibu ya na kampena asemu. Dan so ode ne hu bo akufo ado yi. No mo keka nsem hunu enti no Kwabena I think say ya mompaye anso afre nyame ampa kuafo chew se omo de beye bia no ohawo amaniemu omo nkoso ano a Kwabena kom no ebe change
mamema ohima Esther Kwaba bibia da fom boko de
bibia da fom na mewo announcement kakra de 20 fo anim
are
me pa mo cho me pe obi a wabo adabrijo eduru me pe bi papa 20 fo me sere mu ada wo a wonim obi a owo eduru a be ma odo bnada obi
na mi ntimi nka no
ntimi sere mu bi ya be me ho kire no papa uni abeba bi ni huni wo so ompema ti mandaro ma
ye ntia wum ye ko pedro ye ntia wum ye sesedi ye ntie ye yesra mo ka
Ansah bema bebe wiase na so ompema de na se wo ha
ai
ye be me bia na
ti sesedi ode ajabe
ode okay
na ono kwa Dr. Caesar.
Doc Miss Row. Maybe I'm Beman, me penasem papa. Miss Row, no. What did you want? Who do you have, man? Savapano.
When it general,
I pass when it general. No more.
I know she have been never know. Samaro.
One more papa. The color no money. No,
oh, then I was.
Sama share baby.
Na ye dey musua asamba but ye be dey sama. Eni ene obi agasa ne.
Ye asamba be gasa o dey fe.
Esther. So bi ada form.
Nyame ada roma bi ada form.
Na di nkomo Esther street mayeshi.
Enokre.
Ekoma bakrum.
Enokre.
Wo dey oyo ba wo kodwa so. Who street in na yene agricultural workers union president kasa no say the di animu ba no ekom eba PFG ne afeli ene man ka se kuafo de ye kuayo no ayeka se no emo so mo ka che se omo reduce emo imports local ayinukra yentimi emye production poultry production agame. So, baby, who don't street in what is happening in the streets?
Bobie, the same way, acquiring a home of us in 19. Umianike see IG, when Mianike sends so that is a crave too. The neck, the Nanukrania me say, me walk Ghana dear. Senioma, a more dear, me ana de be a mecase. Obia ni wa, obedi mampenia. Was medium better to a papa so na mako.
Yeah.
Ya na ya aboafo no. Ene ma nipa ne nsasi fom. Enti se wanka amo mampanyi kro anti a onhu de ekọ. Ya dwe be ye se nsem no omote nye ne nyina na omote. Omohia cabinet ade omope na omode etu na na ade owo ene ode ba. Enti meka kakra se oman ne de nyame anim no kure ni. emu ayɛ den ɛnɛ ɔbaa okita sika kɔgyina dwom asɛ onim deɛ wɔtɔ wokɔ nso watwerɛ na wɔ sika no ekita wɔ no ɛne nneɛma no a wokɔtɔ no yɛbɔbɔ na ayɛ mahyew menim ɔbaa a wɔte kuro Ghana yi mu a ɔwɔ kunu a ne housekeeping na ne chop money no ɔmfa bi nso so nneɛma boa yɛ di
this one no ade bi so so
ɔde bi so so yɛ ma ɔsɛ yɛ ayɛ nso mo dumaru a mo kura nyame ahyira wɔ mu yi ɔmo yere mo de bi so so ɛden pa na obobɔ ne me say Simon keke Simon
kwamna de
ende say ye to ye pe se me say me gi order na me ye enkwan a se nkate kwan na me hia me pe Cote d'Ivoire de
yeah
ene papa
why no de a
anu nso de
ye no Ghana no ye ha adwene o se de bia ye ka asema aban onim say popo ya ye wi
yeah
obi ka chem se mi nya wi
are
bibisa ne sa de ya osi omu bia omu dobi no ya kire omu ade ne ye green o de edo bi so a ade be tube pa mu ne mu abre
ayeko
nti mi nya wi na me nkopɛ tete de bia me te mi nya tete de nti bi kura no asese minim de bi kura ye Simon no omu di nuro kura na kye no eno de minim de edi nti na po baako na Cote d'Ivoire for Simon de chen ye de
oh senior ni nya baako nso baako ebu ha de fa ebu so ara gabe
na so me problem na di adanse aye so enti mesre unim say enka ne tete no na woto Burkina for tomatoes a ebeda ho ache na ntinsuo enne eti adaya yese Ghana for na ebi mu ekọ hokọfa tomatoes no omumom na akọkyere Burkina for no kwan a omfa so ye Ghana de na eti nsuo no enti omu Burkina for de omu ni eno but omu ye Ghana for ne kofa de breye yeti ho carrot nyina de ede no efri Burkina ye wo Ghana je ni wa ha but Burkina de no eyesin ye de no na Niger de no yesin ye de no enwuramu nam kura ye wi akrantie eni nkusie ni ade yesi Ghana for timi de aduru egu ade so mamoa ni di wu no mafu ahono owia no afatuo no de abɔ no yesi ohu amadwen ye osetuo nti yensu yesu ne ye ban ni bi eka ho ena ensam amoye bana meti amo kanyina no ni nyina ka fe butu ase Nyankopɔn aye adom ye beto aba Moses some asase be munte
yeah ababa
see ababa beto ababa yi NPP primaries
and I say there momo asem
anti bi chese Ghana for no musu no omo nkasa nkyere omu nua mo se we nyina to obetwa sani ma ye kosu nyina eto obetwa
na bi o edo we da twa
se almost samba to onimu a ewo NPP primaries ya omo mbeba no sa na ma we bi nsi
there you na wo se ebia your friend say president dey on tie no vice president dey wate
o say
problem e koso o maro bia na president ntie na vice president dey wate
sentina meka say omo mienu nya fa na say omo ntie but ye nya obi a on dey oba obete
ono ba date
aso nde obefa nkrofo a ombe ya adwuma ne yenti de koso bi obete sana mpese me kire ye mfa ne se o monte
okay
why me na nyajo mahama asem na meka
na why asem na
ale ye ni nipa ten aye ko to
e wo ka MPP primary so
meka primary aye ko na ka so why me pacho
o ka MPP primary asem na o ka no what has it got to do with
me say Ghana aye din o the economy enyo ya Greek anko yo ekoma ebedi ye yo ku asema nkrofo enfo mu akoka bi o etu obetwa
but na sala no mu nyina na ye
edo mu nyina na ye de
ala no mu na ebu o man na beduru
o no gina he o ye gina ne baby
ala ye minister
minimum so ye minister no do ade
yes
na ba mi odi ade
so who ye vice So
ba me odua de.
And I'm say we vice wo de wo ne president de mo na mu bu man na mo afa nkrofo. Eti me say wo de vice betimi ehu bibia ka che o mampanya me asake obi. By minister ontimi ko kan che o mampanyi say sake obi. Enti difference e wo mu no.
Enti Alan nka ho ba bi ejina wo nka ho.
E de mo aye den no. Ono de no ko kan ho.
Enti ono nka ho.
Wonka ho. Wonka ho. De mo aye din.
Afri akoto nka ho.
Mitimi nkasa man nyane kasa mafo ne me.
Okay.
Nyane kasa mafo ne me.
Okay. Tia how.
Missy me every akoto nyame kasa mafo.
David.
Ya how.
The point is every enti adeni mo nka ho.
Adeni mo de yes minim say amemu no. Wa nkobi. On the
you got in nka ho.
Missy nyane kasa mafo me ke wonte. Me dear na me.
Kwa Japan ka
Kwabena wa nkombi.
Na obo de room am Ansah say ku fa de.
Wo de jano. Wo de jano.
Wo say Kwabena no ho.
Onka ho.
Na say.
Onka ho.
O say.
Onka ho.
Na Kwabena wo bi.
Wanye bi.
Wonka ho.
2020 Land Cruiser no okoji de call campaign no. E na e dia.
Mba chesi ni fie.
Odi abreo.
Odi ko.
Odi akomo.
Odi ko.
Almost I J Kano.
Menye ko bla kasa mafo.
Asa,
menye ko bla kasa mafo.
It almost I J Kano.
Oh, meji.
But Black say Alan was asked to grow common sugar cane to feed Commander factory. He couldn't do it.
So,
onyere.
Ashodie besia ke. Alan ntimi anua.
Ashodie.
Ke
bonua. Na la ya Greek minister.
Na dey na commander.
Okodua no akoja be yes chire. O ya Greek minister.
O boss okodua e dey akoya commander sugar. Me na
o mama na anua.
Wanu, o mo nsa ahidi sie.
Yes.
O ko nsa ahidi sie.
O ba fa makura unim.
O ma na ahidi ro.
Me ka sam chiro.
But I say me ba o ma musa question. Un say chief mama omo ho kwan ama Akufo Addo asel omo nyina.
She
unsa o de
ani
because chief aye nyina ye nim no enkenya the performance
me nua be ma alankyere mate ameni wonim no said ye wo kana ye no kre na ye party for no ebi mo adwene no abeye bibia ma entro bia obetwa fa alan ho akere ombi ombegye di o feel say den crofo ye na alan no resign na alan no onye say oh yeah yankenne omo de be campaign etia no
how
unim
when of course you see eya na nya resign keke o Esther Busa ho senka chief enyo me ko bonitia Ghana fo a ono na nani tuamu bi no oye minister and he stood firm said no you can't do this to Ghanaians and until my resign
enka party fo ye ne
oh boy
wakojina wo manim
you know what hero I am when I get into the party today me list over party ye program na me kwa ase kra me your fans take Akufo Addo
be pese me tie
ko obi ehun say
ko prehwe
me ko prehwe opa ene e ko mo musa reopen nomination na me ko fa form
me say
e ka menya fans a che mu nyina
me nua be
na wonim kene Japan na ma me hu say party for no ono kura na adwuna abo no na adwuna mu aboto no
masa
ono e kura wo fans me call party programs me call baby a party for wa me wo fans papa because and your man na me bo hu de ro nyina who say you will be a heroine I'm telling you entinya se wa ko no atum na o man for suffer na enne no a o man for ya kwa hu ye hia mu no why resign say o ba be can be amayen when you could have done it easily
papa
allow clout
papa tie
allow
Ghana
why did you have to believe say Akufo Addo still had that because that time na otimi boyen no and na otimi kan yen hye no na because people thought say he would be a better president in his first term na ogufu ye no obi ahu ye enti why did you have
to programmer
yeah
aya mu tie comment na eba no
me jambia me
so hwe
me papa
se nkrofo bi ma dwenda so form dey
I say unya ne pepepe
enti mi bo
ala no ko akwaji hwan vote omo ma dwene wo form na omo ma dwene ye adwuma
me beti Ghana nyinaa asɛm a woken Ghana anaasɛ NPP nipa over 6 million no sɛ Alan ɛyɛ deɛ wuyɛ a nko mbɛtena se but nkrɔfo a yakɔto aba yi wo mo sɛ delegate ɔmo na ɛto aba yi ansa na watumi abegyina Ghana fo anim.
So can you confirm what I've always said, say the MPP delegate na adwene wɔ fam pa
me de minti minka so mo adwene wɔ fam. Okay.
All right, Ebenezer Benelli says, is she serious about Alan? DM Benin says, Alan is too docile and not cut for the presidency. Seth Tony Ball says, Bobie, tell the lady that she is very beautiful, so she should try and keep that beauty by not defending the MPP and paying him no. Part of your face says, I'm NDC man, but I just like the woman. Okay, so Cosmos Mama says the lady is very confused. She doesn't know what she's saying and stands so. I feel pity for Alan. If these are the kind of people championing his campaign, can I want says, Commander, the woman funding me? Wow. All right, so we have Andy Mole says, yes, the Jai Alan, then I'm going Cosmos says, my sister, I disagree with you. A caring and concerned president should be social media and should be on social media and be update on current happenings. Nanado is simply inept, wicked, useless, and arrogant. That is the whole issue. Okay, so over case say, you see, because of this propaganda, fire woman, Alan supporter, Aputo. Aputo. Oh, over case, Bobie. But now say a man for you be a area. Okay, now I hate to answer me. Don't I come I like the one that Alan. Take a number from you, go with you. All right, so but
yeah, I'm saving pay.
Yeah.
Obi stop him number crazy, go with you. Ade.
Ope wo number.
Aye.
Timi me mfama no.
Ade bana na ade.
Misubuta. Kremo chebe tupe. Misubuta. Timi mfama no.
Me pacho.
Misubuta.
Esrewo.
Timi mfama no. Why? Misubuta ti ya o si abi o meje. Me de me ho kwa. Okay, so listen, quick one. 52.5 billion Ghana cedis missing from Ghana Commercial Bank.
Alright, a story me follow pa na. Oh. Where Ade Akufo do dia your mind we no. Look, it's a threat to our survival even into a foreseeable future. Say omanfo ntimi anyere no amana mu nkonta ankyere man we o man Ghana we ya yetimu ama baby esika no ayira akuduro no ya anye na ye gyae kufodo tra yete ho anadakoro wakofa abebe abesi yeso abebe ne nipa o abebe so mo president ni abebe.
No, but listen,
sika nkofo na wia no obeka say Mr. T say me ye some we be wo Ghana Commercial Bank in respect of sika omwa
yeah
Jude Atanom ne kamata fionom ene empanifo bia omo ye omo board ne so ne MD no boni ana omo die ewo Ghana Commercial Bank. Na Kwabena me ye ho adwuma ma me tro petition koma Bank of Ghana. Sabre na mu no ena me petition ni bi kodru pani bi anim. Ena ofre me ka kire me say wo te ha. Ena sika fia we. Ena wo ye hu dede. Na ma men kan kire o say sika say to the tune of about this billion. Ena Ghana Commercial Bank ayira unim the MS can hear Kwabena. They only opened an account na a buying your friend is saying revenue collection account. Now a buy revenue collection account no says Kakotosa account anymore. After a period, that money is supposed to be transferred into Bank of Ghana consolidated account via Omabie for Ghana friends revenues.
Yeah.
Omojiji is over a period. Emma ekodru baby a Gabi no mu nyina ho wo. Yeah, Gabi no nyina ho wo. It's a family thing omo yeah to make sure say omo be hwia oman ni sika. Emma eche no documentation bi a na me awose me nsa kama me di blue asem no.
Yeah.
Me nya but auditor general ni department and omo be issue statement bi any leak here. I'm sure say you have a copy.
Yeah.
And no a confirm and someone na nipa na oye me informant no oka. Kwabena hwe me say Ekufuado omuntimi account for 10% of monies they have accrued.
They have stolen.
They have accrued over a period of
7 years.
7 years. They cannot account for 10% because almost for 10% of some sikano omajije no emo my way hobra. So the family and friends are keeping more than 90% of that money. So imagine say you see Ekufuado abobisia saying how much did Ghana owe and how much does Ghana owe in terms of Bosia? Oil sika Kwabena e wosenka o my fonya so mfaso no. Ekufuado nom emfa ohamu chichemu du emo on my way ho bra. The same thing sika omujiji free Temaport. Omuntimi account for 10% of that money. It's not in this economy. Enia. Sika no omoje no money on my divertis can free Ghana account. Wow. In fact, there are even sika omokobo besia sika na enu Ghana ha. Hwe Kwabena ma menka wade bi. Unim de nti is it Belgium? For no say Ghana for your account bi.
Yeah. Omo dey hear money laundering.
Yes. Omo ko jisika in the name of Ghana no akronfo no mawia. No omo dey scan divert into other accounts. What tax saving mu. These are the armed robbers we are dealing with. And so sometimes I feel pity for this country on, and I think say abaya or bano.
No, but Nana. Nana. This man we are talking about.
Yes.
A one petition a public accounts committee. What they call a year forex dena. The 52.5 billion, you pay $9.2 billion. How much is going to be winning? I'm beginning to doubt it. How many be going?
Cecilia Dapa, Ansah no obedi minister no. Na only 20,000. 20,000, say 20,000.
Ujidi.
Na only be. Only be. And you say now 20,000 230 million. Sisi no only be. In fact 20 million crown on na campesa meka. But I just want to be very charitable, say, oh dear, obi betimi a cheniska. No only be. Obi enimu no. Utimi nkasa onim no, onim sisi. Now, ene na onti kumase. Obi enimu no. Obi anso nim so ye pepe. Nitiri mo den ne ye mo onwono. Obi anim. Na ono ultimate the sika we kogu ne dem. Sika ye de 5 hours na kan. I'm a special prosecutor manson because one more sika ni di be pem ne. Matis yes we watch later come man kofu bi say o retract and apologize. We be retract apologize no we kronfo we part of them. Say say no person me na media for no na afi obi suro. Ye be ka dia body rama man say say mo ya kronfo. Oba besi akro ye kronfo. Oba akro no ni na be ma. Oba timi anya kukodro 9.2 billion. And oba timi anya kukodro disca we akoto dem na be ma na otimi fanko. Na gadu eni na wan na ya sa bebe uni sika wo. Uni sika ga bi wo. Na ko hu an ko obetwe wo. Wei nipa wo so hu twe wo. Who Kwabena da for no. Wait. Abebe we. They think they have got it all. But look, Kwabena, they can never spend that money, and look, they can never run away or get away with murder. They have really put Ghana on her knees. And on my way, a spiritual land. Ghana will deal with them drastically to their core, and it's to their 10th generation. It is to their 10th generation. Look, this country will deal with them one after the other. They will never be left off the hook. They will never go scot-free. They will never get away with murder. The patience of the Ghanaian is because tomorrow is pregnant with hope. Tomorrow is pregnant with much hope. That is why the patience of the Ghanaian who said I'm for few say Ghana for Jimmy and now Ansah no me docile. No, the Ghanaian is not docile. We are not cowards. But we can discuss our majority of Ghanaians are hypocrites. But second 19 account toa. I want to be say kokko bobepi. Etino enya sikana o mawiaro. Na ka obi ti say hwe, Kwabena, can you imagine say obi ti say Ochami Akoto bay. Afri Akoto. Sikana o de campaign onya no. This is someone who could not even afford anything before. Missing no one need 20,000 on account. No, make it 20,000 because I'm just being charitable. They were begging. They were always begging. They didn't have that money.
Esther, would you my young question? Obi to say Samuel Kuswai. Minim Samuel Kufrin and Kola Bremu Bejras and Papra Meadows and Nim Sikakra or the Bafaka Kofi Krana a problem. John Kuma, minim John Kuma said the bad program. No maniska dia faka.
Someone who cannot afford a shoe.
Pious, not ne baby mama Emma me feel combine. Me go see radio station wo akosobo. Or the singing room one in the sound no call now them. So these are people we can mention and mention. Actually, Obia boss, Obia didn't boss.
Na Gabi now no ya done.
Gabi no pass and Oba not Gabi as empower pyramidal. No, the minimum Gabi. No many as a rent. No as a pyramid as a DVD to call say Africa live band. I told the be an car just umpia. So these are people. We know them.
Say no, you should tell me.
You need more. It means Obi catches Samuel cry. Yeah, I laugh, and I just walk away because Obi part on your jumada. Ya won't on your jumada. Say my year juma. Me make me a year juma for 25 years in my life. Ye tria me senate. Me je bosumi aketua. Ye nam de koto adu ane mama amidi. On to me say. Oni record. Ekufo the best restaurant.
Onu Ekufo do na mu no.
Onye adwuma. Akwala nya adwuma da. Me am sister.
Ekufo do. Oye lawyer. Odidi nkofo se bo sere na wadi.
So
ana obekwa koto papa eja pade. Oto wie so a. Sikari ba de betina asa because
all of a sudden me share the po after a 2008 elections. Mills by 2009-10. Misia na power Kumasi airport na mo asempa me ba Kumasi siaba some ka chere na me raho yes me nyina na ye ka na po
we know everyone
me Asamoah Boateng me so Asamoah Boateng ensa ekọ KSM fie na me KSM akokura we AP Asamoah Boateng ka ye pia ka mudro ka no mudro na KSM wo se wo fa se ada na wo be ha be wi na so fa de enyere ye ho na de ye pia na on say
we know everyone of them.
So all of a sudden if the person tells you say or no you millionaire
because they are controlling a lot of money. These are monies I was anke dey your money. And so they tell the previous regime say mo de mo jimi o mo dis kan be ye mo hu yie no and na mo de ye kwan Mudi CC Terminal 3, Mudi CC Ridge Hospital, Mudi CC KJT 38 Military Hospital, Mudi CC Kumewu Hospital. And until no share, aban we ba ye no wono na sika kese akodi ne nsam o enso ontimi nkyerɛ even 1% of John Mohammed's achievement.
Because $9.2 billion a team free system we ma. Omo chiche ma omo boys no na say egu bottom and now omo tutu amana de egu.
Say
and what?
Okay, say me catch you say.
What is it?
Me contractor no.
Yes.
I be catch you say omo be for omo koye adwuma bi.
Yes, okay no.
Omo tutu manholes. Omo aye te say manhole and omo dis kan egum.
Yes, afie ni bi wo okra no a. Omo atwa no on say sa a carpet grass no. Uru afie wa obeka say unam grass but asie no omo stash. And om the slabs eguso and om the carpet grass na faso. And unam a ori abeka say unam ifie but unam skaso.
We are boni say it ya my.
But because how can you go to IMF? That was almost $3 billion. But you $9.2 billion. You how?
Now the Bank of Ghana say more okay.
As a subache at a smansu fino. IGP kura we owiena dwuma onya ses can see fino. You know there. And as a subache ye dwuma da bay. I know as a subache. Obi to say abujinapo. Abujinapo ko toilet so no onu aye panel member no onu akote toilet so that wa frɛ
or the toilet trash na
or the any handkerchief akata na no ya abujinapo na de o ya de se odo pa na betimi aye ade ama nana abujinapo adwuma no oye no auto femfo nim asempa femfo nim obi so when I meet them then I'm like within 7 years you can become this rich Abraham Jumada. But look, young one take the Japan with this discussion. Kennedy said something on AGTV. Let young go to Kennedy Japan. Sometimes only but them if you no one total. Yes, but them no one total.
All rich politicians are thieves. Read my lips. Read my lips. And you expect you to show that you are true general. All rich politicians are thieves. Read my lips. Read my lips. And you expect you to show that you are a true journalist. When they are coming, look at their shoes.
All rich politicians
they are thieves. Does that include you? I'm a businessman. That's why I say that.
But you are also a politician.
Yeah. So you can add me too. We are all thieves. Yeah, because look. You see, you don't assess them. When they are coming, their campaign, their shoes, their sneakers, all the clothes they wear. When they are going, when they become ministers and they are living, look at the mansions they have.
But there's a provision for people to declare their assets before they assume public office.
Rubbish.
And
rubbish, not you. I'm saying it's rubbish. I'm not saying you are rubbish, no, but it's rubbish. What provisions? I've told you that we are naturally born bad. Anything, if you want my head to be cut today, then you get somebody to do it. All rich politicians are thieves. Read my lips. Read my lips. And you expect you.
This is the issue.
Bobie, say me ye NPP ni. Me nka communication hodie. Nka menya na ka me betina ha listo we ken na ka ma no dem na me defend listo wo boa because me nim say wo boa nanso asem we wo de opa social media ho na ka say menya NPP ni papa enha me because me ye Ghana ni sin NPP ada nkofo bebe no munye NDC phone ma be NPP obi nya NPP no kwa NDC maybe re NPP ni personally OJM definitely we try my NDC but me to me nkoye Ghana ni da me ntimi enya Ghana enkoye baby nti ade enye na nye na ayema reho asaye me anim guasie me de metina radio so me kan bia ma to me din didi matem me ye wanted e ma asibesi kura na obesra me o me hotel ametie asibesi wo wasɛm na making
yes
so nti
asɛm na di o
just say o dwi asɛm we hu a wobenya obi a oye NPP ni oye Ghana ni a obekɔ comment section obi a odi watem
yeah
ade
eso wonya bi ni
ade nti ade na ade enye yema yen ka sɛ nye hwɛ sikasɛm yɛ ɔmo kenya mo kenya fɛ na sɛ me ho yɛ me bibibi me ho yɛ me basabasa because said campaign na president Akufo-Addo gyina so kan ya ma Ghana for GD ya ne senne a chain NDC de ne dia na ya rehosem pa Bobie na sankrofo we yi a omadi Ghana ewu edi Ghana abro ama Ghana ho akyere ye no ene sankrofo na sa abase omo sa de obi foforo obreye ade nti kakra ya de mo aye mo fa ne sa anko
no but esa omo ko na
obi huneto
exactly
nti
that is the problem now
and the meaning sir Bobie
I just want more yire wo mo atra wa your mind you
Debi.
Even with Alan coming you could almost because still want to better
yes sir oh me share papa bi me dia me ko fa se me ba wo ho na Bobie aba wo ho na wo bisa Bobie say o ye MPP ni na wo de wo ye businessman na wo bisa Bobie say ho na mo de ne ba o se adwuma ne pa de Alanche Martin betimi ayi ti yeso ye mfa ne ma na o se ade oso no mu ko wiye sika o me nko awonko uko wiya ba ne ma ne bi ni nso a o ni che so obeche nti de Bobie kana ye no kre oh me yare because oti sika ni di na me kra de antisisi oye oba ne de ma adwene ho ada na meka obi si jana ne de oye communication de na ne de sepu
puduo de communication
anya osu
oh so ndo dia pam tuma
antisisi
efra no
nti bibi ono kra nyame na do no senkwala ne ye obi a kombeku no ambo sika nti se egu fie dia obeku so omoku wange anje omo
ketu akata
na nti sie yese wa nkrofo no so na ayiwa ma o
ai
misa na mate no
no
wa nkrofo na ayiwa ma mesre NPP mesre mu se asem bi sisei na nkrofo ka momo omonka o de wontimi nka bi kura enidi wo matem ene ma afu mamo defend adefo yi sei wo so ye NPP ni nti na wo defend we hwe enu asema me kai say airport Kumasi airport o majaye no me ko bi frame say ye no kre enti sai sikai omo de koye yanka enyi
Kumasi
ye wo kro ye wo Ghana ye hospitals ye timi ko ese bed ni ho na yarefo ya rejected no akowu yes hospitals ni bi wa government one no omo say ayi the edison crofos we pen from I say e ba ko utukwa omra na obi ewu na de kwa ha sa on my way e na ye timu ankrofo timi disika sei e ma ye hia for sa be defend omo matete abrochire ko school
ni tire no what you want why say watwe na no
omo matete abrochire ko school womo nananom o ware bi kura ne skana sa be sa womo nsenom ne ade menne wo yete ha menne wo ye yare e betimi akọ abrochire menne wo togo kura ye ntimi nkosa ye ho yare ise kuro Ghana mu won so ade we yakoso a osemi ye NPP ni enti wo be defend me defend enti me ye fon na obi agya na yire nim se ka adwo no ba be didi matem
obi ade
ka adwo
the better
and can want to ask you don't come up
yeah set me better hey
as at casa no aka what as you do say she we
they say mo
do say ka
at least we jade o ka no asem nya no kre obi ani sika who defend asabi asa wagimi ade bi si wo party mu NPP NDC na who defend ya obi tie wa asa wagimi me so me to be nyesa Se me ba ye no ma ya de papa nka me bo ho da wuro na se Ghana sika Bank of Ghana na ayira ma betena ha na mbe campaign na maland bi me defend me me fia me ntimi nyesa munya de pa me betena ha meka eno na sese delegate ehweso almost ko be yeah sorry emo vice din na ka be nko bo hwan din hwan na me money din corruption akoso yi nyina ye ntimi nchi obi yi because omo de be campaign amano efa omo de be campaign amano eno nti me ami money din me boni din
just got it
atakumo
na mo kwa mo se munya bi anaye mamo
efo
mo
why sika
vai amuna mo mpe oho
why sika
vai sika na mo chiche no
ba omia what is the message bukuro be na me fa for me fia be
she NPP for mo amu tie mi a hani ache mo mamo ma hani anche mo we nyina no eye party no ene Ghana eye di emayo na say loyal ladies so say loyal ladies no edu makogu abrochire no ebia ne me na se me ba betena se e defend nyoma we amadaache enya nsunsu aso wo me nana no so de meka ni se ya na matena ho saa benim se mrepa a Ghana be yi beba
kunim de achi
de mu bedie akwantu abu beto mo ma me no kura wo mu mfa ai plane free Kumasi ana mu nkura se ma akrada ba mu de mu pesa chenchena mututu kwan kwa abrochire nti de ekoso a enye bia mu support oti abrochire wo wanya obi a owa ha ono otimi ma kakra $100 bi ni ade umbeto mu a nti sa ade na ekoso na ye fun na ye kana motete social media chida mu di atem me eno enkukuru me even 2014 de no kra anya me hwe ne ye beka na when nyina twa besi delegate say Ghana any MPP shebre ehemonsem makoma so ade pa me de tia ne say ye beto oba ni be wie 4th November na Dr. Bawumia lose
ofaka same
whoever obenya no enye masem
enwesu nyitire no
enye masem
hati sugar wa mi frogo
ala me wala ofake me nka sa me pe me wa me size ma wadwini mrefi ofake mo wadwini mrefi mo me so yes that what you abrochiro
what is that
I no wonder the gram ka so wa abrochiro be me ya
what to
nka be me ya hwe ensem a omo ke mo de mo ma me ka sa nya no kre sa mo ka sa nya no kre dia fine na mo nim sa ade ne ye no kre dia eye de na ese me be defend eniema ekosui ekot ope nkrofo kakra bi na afa daachi omo na so ye hu breda na wo ofake ene kra wo ba ye tire kra wo ntimi nyi nipa 5 aho kire nti wo ntimi nyi nipa 5 na wo bedi di matama ha me sugar mommy me ba me se manya 42 enti me pe obi a me pe obi o ye 50 enti sugar
na 44
me mpaw
mia makasa
ade no emodin
o chechre
emodin papa na ya areho hwe se ukoka enti omoya na omo se obi say NPP for ye ni message nti message ndi na ade ko we ya ese ye nya obi a ono awo na sem obeka ama Ghana fo etie ahweso ato abama ye de na ade ko de here IMF Bank of Ghana CCK anamu de he na ade kwa campaign mama yenka no kra nkyere ye ho na ye ma ye mpanyimfo hu se enye ububo din bebre wo mu mi de minim na yestika 2015 me say ye to aba e won hia so na stika ne magu ne kam
obua
mi ntwa ntroda me na ma han dan tim no ni dan
stika
ene ko hwe dan a wasi ko hwe dan a stika asi ko pani fie ne ko hwe Adena mudi na ado abro sa.
Na no do no di abro na so.
Ono minti di wo hwimu.
Enyo ono na areas ka.
Ise minti di wo hwimu.
Enyo areas ka no.
Minti ye. Ye wodi ni ebobo. Na na do ni
Kwara me nkuyaba.
Me sori aba.
Na na do ono osi obeboa no abogana ye sika ho ban.
Protected the
Ene nkrofo. Asheda.
Ana
gu na ni mu ase.
Na wonka ho. Why?
What did you do bibim?
Na wonka ho.
Wonka ho. Na ba what is osi dan we?
Na na pabo akoro di da.
Sorry, no.
Nana,
ayen crofo.
What is it on this side? 7th January.
What
do you say? Private jet will be the quotum this year. Omo papa.
And some money to me, Chedi. You can't Bank of Ghana. Yabo Kufuadudi.
Debbie.
Abra presi kesi ni fie e go fado dem
onu kura yin one unim say na $1 million da
enti ayam crofo ayam crofo na asheda sese bi da che pe ba ko trase a ko benya ni mo nyanwa ko no mo ye neoma sa e de ha ba pei so ti ase oh enye yesi wo bi de microphone de ko so wo ti abena persike de ye machine no oh enti me de mesre NPP for
go kuma se da we
Ora peni bi
go kuma se da we
peni bi asra ti ahe peni bi asra every future ma reform
da ben pesa omo fa sa mo se no ono eba be no ko hwe na o ko wiesia ne manyina anyinyi
no mo timi do obi na go private jet mi say na say na nyo nwa are
ekeliama
o ba je ka
me so ba za ka ba se mame
timi tu na ka pe na ba cha fo ko ka bi fa no afre ba cha ka pe me veja Mas oh, chama. Si ya kabia mo mesra mo. Munya wa ira. Se mo ja ya. Me luzu.
Kebi bano. Je Kwabena. More serious note no. Ade e koso no. NPP for nyina yemfa NPP se mo nto nchen. Na yemedwene Ghana no mumu. Ghana no ena yenwene ho eniema yakika sika ebobodin etimi ye nioma bebre enso so wo ma hwe na na ado anim afo mani anto papa corruption na so obetu ase
but stika no ade
obeye yi Maslock see you ana ho kata ma no onye MP no
yes that one na dey adwuma no ye
na o kuma say onye MP na MPP ma power then was why lecturer me need for a but no so why lecturer
eh sa
na me kra ho me se eto me bia ye hia for ne hia ne timi boye dam na nse me drew tafuji na yese na bia akosi dan wo ho
Nana bi
akosi dan ma hospital no ene wo mo bo na baso but obi a misa se onya sika na we
Debi oba memi de uwi akura na de koyese ya ya na me nse da ni problem
no se wunya wonim de nipa kro wo no akoye we
anyway
wonim de owo
because se na furu mo ma
ko ankoye but eba na say ye nyina nipa wo ye national organizer na katwa ye say nti onya scan wo hin odikosi saade no oti social media isu udi matem onwene nkwachire ye cheche ye keka mefe kama dampan ye nyina e ko pepa betia NPP obi a wa bemu obi a wo position bia su ne ban ne ya order na di no enye ne fie o eye party no na beti ho pentenkwa enti sa wo de ne sa obe defend ni o mefunu kwa wo de ye wo de na me de me ma nanado obi ntenka nkyere ne se nkrofo ogu nanim ase nkrofo ha no de opɛ se wo ye Ghana no o ma amakwan ama ya anye ɔse ɔno de na memo so de se no na ɔde be ye ya ɛne efrim
ɛna ɔmo afrim no ma ye se tam
ɛna ɔmo wom
ɛna ahia nana ɛne na busuafo se Gabi wonya wansi di no wadi
me Gabi ni obi ade de me nka o nana Gabi de ade na onye why ye na nko a
ɛna ahia no
so no de on na dwempa ne se opese obɔ Ghana sika ho ban nti omo boa na man asenka obɔ ho ban no ɛna edi ni hwamo omo di ni hwamo
Ansah yes papa bi ɔkyerɛ deɛ na nanum atutu ya na ɔhyɛkyɛ grebu na ɔde kɔ school na ɔkɔ school one day ɔka kyerɛ nkɔla no sɛ ɔno ɔkyerɛtwi ɔmo mfa grebu ɛnka asɛm na baako pagya ne nsa na ɔse grebu hyɛkyɛ ɔse you are very stupid student get away from here from class mu go na ɔkɔla do pie na baako a man in saso no say yes o de o minim se wa ben no say grabu anuma tutu no say we are forest boy kwa che baako get away from here third one sorry ya say no say very good brilliant Grebu mpem kwasi asem.
So who is Grebu?
Otwe abasi wo.
Who bo say?
Oh,
two cabbages say.
The cabbages say ma mempo 552. Grebu mpem kwasi asem.
Bobie. Ene de.
Mara na nchia.
Okura adwiri me.
Honorable Floss.
I'm coming to me.
Osima nkrase.
Me pamocho.
Grebu urieka.
Delegates. NPP for Twaba. Me nsa dansa yam kotodwe gu fom. De ekoso nyina mwatibi, mohubi. Emfa na bufuo, fahia de, fasam ne sasem hia. Because nkrofo ya omwatwetwe nana ehu nsuo wo sika mu. Wo moa na omo so omo device aba. Nti mesremo me pamocho modaroma mesremo enka yenko Twaba ni 4th November na Dr. Bawumia enya kabaye me de pa nanka abeboa party ne Ghana nya because wo de boya mo hyehye sa grebu fo ya Bobie ken wo mo
ya madaka nwa ye
grebu jina mo so some fa Dr. Bawumia mra mitimi nya ne din boda because all mo grebu fo na ne ba ti mesremo hwena na do kura na ni edin na na ekufuado na ni edin o mo grebu fo atimi abu afa so
na unim se na na do e wo sa no o mo timi de budget ko se Jubilee House budget yes it mi bru so 1 cedi ade na na ba yom no so mo ntete so
eso mo nye
yes
na namponie na nampo na budget freso grebu fo hani
na koliko
na Dr. Bawumia
grebu ba
mesremo mumma obi foforo emehyehe na nioma tutoye na grebu fo nyina afiri mu a ekye matimi de Dr. Bawumia ba na grebu fo ama na natimu pa ama mu no grebu fo ya na di Dr. Echinti mesremo.
All right, thank you so much. Like what I got 100.5 Citizen Show. Let me do this. Hello. Grebu mpam kwasi asem.
Grebu mpam kwasi asem. Wafa the form, wafa the year.
Kai 1000 Ghana.
Dem kama.
Kai CMG achadie, skachadie. Ha. Challenge yamin shirawo. Ati.
Ene weekend so.
Ene nso no ewiem so anyinu sei. Radio you break grabu tuno akari you betutu ni nyina gufo. Grabu kwasi asem. All right, thank you so much. Let me pick another winner. Muncha na me 5 minutes na me fanye. Listo, nenga wo che obi kwekwa na me my advert keto.
Okuno.
Oh, okay.
Menua Okopa Assemblyman Eddie.
Oh, okay.
Mechiano Papa or North Kaneshi area.
Joe, so you're back.
I Joe, so
you're back. All right.
Fred.
Okay. Thank you. No, me quiet. Hey, Kakra, Madam Masse.